Well, that button didn't work. Ain't that some shit? Off to a great start. I'm like, full screen, full. All right, but what's up, everybody? Well. I definitely came up with a name. I came up with a name for this segment, the Fallout Report. That's what we're gonna be doing. Beat the feet. What's going on? How you doing? Sig Fang, Architect of Sin, give me shit. Only 2 days back in the year 2025, and Sig Fang's like, you're gonna start streaming right now when I got shit to do on my game. But you know what's funny? I feel you. I feel you because I'm sitting here like I'm like I could be playing some Marvel Rivals. They just got a an update. You got Sue Storm and Reed Richards in there, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanna play a little bit, but we got work to do. We got work to do. Maneater 087, love my life. Hello. Um, how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I wonder if I let me see something real quick. Maybe if I turn this off and turn it back on, because that's kind of a pain in the ass that it didn't do its job. Let's restart the Stream Deck here. Stream Deck. Let's go. React. It's not changing scenes. It's doing the music, but not the scenes. Ain't that some shit? Spoiler Maker. What's up, Vandolph? How you doing? Welcome to the first episode of the Fallout Report. So basically, what I'm gonna do is here's how it's gonna go. On Mondays, I'm gonna try to do like a breakdown of something. I think on Monday we'll probably talk a lot about Panama. We'll go into a deeper dive about Panama, the Panama Canal. If there's anything important that comes up on Monday, we'll talk about it then, or something that happened over the weekend, we'll talk about it on Monday. But yeah, we'll probably deep dive and kind of like go into like it'll be more of like a topic heavy kind of stream, right? So it'll be like a learning point. We'll maybe like go over what's going on in Israel, or let's talk about Panama, let's talk about Puerto Rico, let's talk about what's happening in Congo, let's talk about, you know what I mean, like something like educational. I reached out to the people who made Israelism. There's a documentary called Israelism that goes over Zionism and what they've been doing in Gaza. And I reached out to them to see if they would mind if I showed it on stream to get their permission. They haven't reached out back yet. They might not. But maybe we just watch it and I can be like, well, I asked, but I am doing the due diligence first. Let's see here. How's my mic? My mic volume good? Let me put that up a little bit. Can y'all hear the music? The background smoothness. If not, I'm gonna set the volume a little bit differently. Yeah, let's put this over here. Boom. I don't have to restart my computer. I feel like it's being weird. I feel like it's being weird. Let's see. Yeah, scene switcher. Yeah. I don't know why the scenes aren't switching. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. It is Friday, so if you work at 9 to 5, then I would say that you should be doing quite well. Oh, also John Stewart on the did I say John Stewart? John Stewart over on the YouTube side. I need to start paying more attention to the whole chat over there. By the way, if you're not subscribed to me over on YouTube, check me out at youtube.com/@leftface. No TV, just @leftface. And shoot me a sub over there. I would definitely. This was a goal for last year, but admittedly, I probably went strong. Like, what would you say? What would you say, Sig Fang, Maneater? I think I went pretty strong until about like April. I think around April, May-ish. And then I started doing that thing where it's like I stream like once every blue moon and then couple times and then one time and then, man, I haven't streamed in a month type shit, right? So there was no way I was gonna get monetized or even break 1,000 subs, streaming like that. So we're gonna give it another go in 2025. Yeah, April mid late. Yeah, I would say that's about right. And so we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes for 2025. I'm definitely going to try it out. By the way, if you guys aren't aware, this is the shirt from Ernie's little shop. So if you go check out the shop, the YouTube store over on Blur Without Fear, he got a shirt on there. Stay woke because you're next. So I went ahead and grabbed me one. Little things like that, you know what I'm saying? Little things like that. If you're gonna get a shirt anyway, why not get it from the homie? Let's see here. Let's put this over here. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot. Let me go ahead and close this one right here. As usual, definitely appropriate for the Fallout report today. We're going to start off with top U.S. and world headlines from Democracy Now! We're going to go a little bit into the new moderation over at Meta. Oh, why is that playing? Don't play yet. Yeah, the new moderation over at Meta is going to be... it's going to be very interesting considering, some of the things that we're going to go into. It appears as if Mark Zuckerberg is trying to go the way of X. A lot of people have beat feet already, and we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to stick around. I know a lot of people are also sticking around, but we'll see what happens. We're also going to go over the fact that Donald Trump got sentenced today. He is still a convicted felon, and we'll go over the sentencing that he received today. Nobody will be surprised as to what he got. Strangely, the Santa Ana winds in California have caused wildfires, which absolutely nobody could have predicted. I don't know how anybody could have who could have predicted this years ago. But fires are spreading. Probably one of the worst fires California has seen to date. What else? What else are we going to talk about? We're also going to talk about Donald Trump saber rattling towards Greenland and Panama. Yeah. That's what we got today on today's Fallout Report. Devon Trey, welcome. Sentenced and convicted, yet walking. Weird. Lo Tigre! What's going on, Cypher? What's going on? Took a look at the whole moratorium on suspension of Cali policies. I definitely saw that headline. One of the things that they definitely did was California put a stop to all insurance company bans. Oh man, dude, man. Let's see. All right, let me see. Let me see how I could say this and not get in trouble. It took state legislation to force insurance companies. Exactly, Maneater. I'll do it for you. It took legislation to force insurance companies not to cancel their policies. Legislation to stop them from canceling people's insurance policies in the wake of these fires. In other news, there is still a worldwide outpouring support of Luigi Mangione. And it's just wild to me how anybody can be confused as to why. I think that's good, right? That's good. What are you gonna get? What you gonna do? What are you gonna charge me with? I'm just saying. We're talking about headlines today. California fires. Trump's conviction. We'll throw a little bit of a, and boy, people really still support Luigi Mangione. Man, that's fucking crazy, guys. Isn't that fucking wild? Oh my God. Man, I am going to talk about something that I touched on yesterday. Smoke One Kenobi was going on. Trending and all, right? It's weird. I definitely don't want to see Luigi Mangione. Those are like two topics I don't want to see fall off. Is Luigi Mangione, because that's why they're doing. Ben Cypher, I appreciate you. That's why they're doing it. I'm telling you, that's why they're doing it. I do not want to see Luigi Mangione or Gaza fall off this news cycle. Ooh, TikTok getting banned. Well said. Let me see what they got on that real quick. That's actually a really good one. That's a good one. TikTok ban update. Anything recent? Supreme Court hears arguments on ban case. Signals it would. Oh, all right. Well, that was loud. All right, let's go ahead and save that one. Yeah, that's a good one. I appreciate that. By the way, just real quick, why you ain't sending out streaming notifications? No, I did. What do you mean? Where? When? Did it not show up? I got a notification on Discord. I see a red number 1 there. Content alert. Yep. Robo's live. Left Face TV live. I put out a message on Left Face TV. I'm telling you, man, these things, I don't trust them. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm always shitting on QAnon. I'm always out there. I'm seriously like, man, do not fall into that same right-wing bullshit conspiracy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like don't fall for it. If you don't have good evidence for something, then just stick to what you know. But every so often I get tested and I'm like, not even the homies are getting notifications. I'll sit there and I'll post something in support of Palestine and I'll get no shot. I've screenshot it. I sent it to Cypher. I sent it to Ernie. This motherfucker will get 6 views. Now you might say, well, yeah, I mean, you haven't caught the fire yet. You haven't blown up. No, I get that. But I got more than 6 people in the Discord. You know what I mean? Like if the only people who watch me are like the people who are who have my back, I'm at least getting 20, it's like if I get more than 20 and I don't get more than like 100, then okay, yeah, it's just, it wasn't a good video or something. But when that bitch gets 6 views, I'm like, no, you didn't show that shit to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a different kind of low number. And the fact that I sit here, I go live, and I'm constantly like what Elite just said. I get that all the time. Like, bro, I didn't get anything. My Twitch didn't say anything. You know what I mean? I'm like, ain't that some shit? I posted it on Threads. I sure did. I did do it just like not that. It maybe 15 minutes ago though. I got to get more on Ernie's game. I think Ernie, he likes to have his because I do the thumbnails usually. Like from now on I'll be doing them mostly, but we share the thumbnails. But when I do the thumbnails, he likes to have them out. It's like 24 hours out. That way he has it in the schedule. It's already on people's reminders and stuff like that. I'm really bad at that stuff. I'll get the live going. So I'll probably have to take some of that, but I don't know. Whenever, just because of the content and stuff, I feel there's some suppression going on. Okay. I was in Blurtco and it pinged in the user side that you went on the stream, but I got a notification from your Discord, but not from this. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right. Plus, you used to call me the repost king because them weird lows. Oh, bet. Yeah. Because you sent me the videos and I don't even double check. Yeah, no, I feel you. I can't do that. I don't know. I don't know why I can't. I just like, I think it just hurts my spirit. I see a video and it's like, it got 20 views. It got 3 likes, 20 views. Whatever. Yeah. But that's why. That's the difference. That's why Cypher World's out here. YouTube partnered up, cupcaking with YouTube, all snuggling up with YouTube, on the couch, watching movies and sipping chocolate with YouTube, getting monetized and shit. Because he did it. He did it. He knows how to do the deal. He did the thing. And I'm like, nah. Like, bro, just repost it. Maybe it'll be good. Nah, I don't want to. I don't feel like it. Oh shit. I had lives that get 30 randos talking about a video game, but if I read some union organizing training material, they'll get me bottleneck at 3 people. I feel you. Okay. All right, let's get into it. As usual, we always start off with the rundown by Democracy Now, and I'll pause and do all this stuff and make it transformative in nature. But I love me some Democracy Now, and I like to spread the word. And they're gonna go over some shit that I probably would never go over. Because it's just not on my radar. So I like listening to them. It covers the gaps. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. In Southern California, firefighters are continuing to battle multiple wildfires raging around Los Angeles, which have now claimed at least 10 lives, though officials warn the death toll could continue to climb. This is L.A. County Sheriff Robert Luna.
Based on the devastation that is clear, it looks like an atomic bomb dropped in these areas. I don't expect good news, and we're not looking forward to those numbers.
A new fire, the Kenneth Fire, exploded Thursday evening in the West Hills north of Calabasas, quickly spreading to 1,000 acres. Meanwhile, the 2 largest fires, the Palisades and Eaton fires, were just 6% and 0% contained as of early this morning. Experts say the wildfires not only are the most destructive in U.S. history, but likely will be the most costly disaster as well. Over 10,000 homes and other structures have been damaged or destroyed. At least 180,000 residents are under evacuation orders. This is Alita Johnson, lifelong Altadena resident.
I don't think people really realize what's going on here. Like, as you listen to what's going on, I want you to just really pay attention to the surroundings. I know these are affluent areas, and I know these people have money. But this is how ghost towns are made. This is how we get in 150 years. There used to be a little town here called the Palisades, et cetera, et cetera. This shit is wiped off the fucking map. This isn't like water damage. This isn't like, oh, my roof tore off and now I need FEMA to help me build a new roof. This is fire and it completely deleting this neighborhood. It is not a minority neighborhood, as far as I can tell. I know the Palisades sure as shit aren't. I don't think I got to check out the other ones. I can only speak for the Palisades. But the Palisades are, I don't know. You will never have rich city not built by poor people. Yeah, you're right. We'll see. Wouldn't that be some shit? I'm pretty sure y'all can fact check me and I won't be offended, but I'm pretty sure we have neighborhoods to this day that are still destroyed by Katrina and have not been rebuilt. So we need to keep a close eye on this shit, especially the Palisades, and let's see how fast these neighborhoods get rebuilt. And not by these people, not by the celebrities. I want to see where government funding goes, and I want to see how fast government funding gets to the Palisades to get rebuilt, if it happens.
Then who lost her
Flint,
home
exactly.
in the Eaton blaze.
But nothing prepares you for this amount of destruction. I mean, there's no manual, there's no book. that night when we left, it was so frightening. You could barely see I could barely see my hand in front of me because the visibility was so bad and the winds were whipping just ferociously.
Boil water advised.
I gotta look. This is California. Yep. Now I gotta look at this. This is just, hey, this is at the moment Googling immediately, right? So take this for what it's worth. Altadena is a typical 52.8% white, which is pretty typical for white for California. 23.7% African American. Now, given that African Americans are 13 to 14% of the nation, that's an above average amount of African Americans. Now, here is the litmus. Now, I would need to look more into it. Just because it's 23% doesn't mean it could still be an affluent neighborhood, right? But I want to see, like, if we're just writing shit on the wall just to keep an eyeball on, let's see the recovery efforts for Altadena versus the Palisades. That's going to be an interesting one. You know why the fires are happening in California of all places? Why? Why? Garth and Mager.
Advisories have been issued in much of the affected areas, with only bottled water recommended for drinking. Meanwhile, health experts warn children, the elderly, and those with certain medical conditions are particularly vulnerable to health complications from inhaling wildfire smoke, which is filled with fire.
Can you imagine? Can you fucking imagine watching people die, watching entire homes get burned, and saying, because people sin? Can you fucking imagine? That's fucking wild. Garth and Mager, if you have ever in your life said, man, you know what's crazy is that we lived in the most unchurched time in our life. And if you ever heard your pastor say, like, man, this is wild. We live in the most unchurched time. We have to do something to save the soul of our nation. I want you to remember that comment. Unless you're being like ironic and you're making fun of Christians or something. I want you to like remember that comment and go, oh shit, yo, wow, yeah, it's me. I'm the reason why we live in the most unchurched time in our life. That is such a bullshit ass statement. You should be ashamed.
Particulate matter. Red flag fire weather warnings are continuing today. Forecasters warn gusty, dry winds could return to the region as early as Sunday. President Biden linked the historic LA wildfires to the climate crisis as he vowed federal aid to cover 100% of disaster assistance costs over the next 100 days. This comes as new data from Europe's climate monitor confirms 2024 was the hottest year in human history, with the average global temperature rising by 1.6 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels. That's more than the 1.5-degree limit set by the United Nations 2015 Paris.
Yeah, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I know plenty of Jewish people, and they do not talk about fire and brimstone and disobeying God. That is not anything I've ever heard from a Jewish person. Even ultra Orthodox people, which many of them are like against Gaza because they don't believe that Israel, that the development of Israel is against the going against God. I don't hear the fucking yeah. I don't know. Maybe you're in a weird like cultish one that talks about fire and brimstone or some shit. I don't know. Anyways, it's still fucking dusty. It doesn't become not dusty and bullshit just because you're not Christian. Okay, bye. Fucking get the fuck out of here. Yeah, let me help you out. Fucking dumb bitch. What a fucking bitch. I fucking hate people like that. Anyways, yeah, sorry, yeah. Don't let me forget. I lost track. Don't let me forget. There's a video out there of looting. Don't let me forget. And by the way, I don't believe that motherfucker for shit. Most of the Jews that I know are not religious. And then the religious ones are not like fire and brimstone shit. I don't believe that motherfucker at all. That right there is your typical Christian who's doing like, I don't know what we would call it, Jew face. I don't know. Like he's hiding. I don't buy that shit at all. I don't buy that he was Jewish at all. It's only looting if it's minorities. Do not let me forget. Do not let me forget. Because y'all gonna love this.
Climate accord. Later in the broadcast, we'll speak with a climate scientist. In Gaza, Israeli forces bombed tents housing displaced Palestinians west of Khan Yunis overnight. It was one of several attacks that killed 70 people within 24 hours. That's according to Gaza's health ministry. This comes as a new study in the medical journal The Lancet.
Okay, Mutel P, why you gotta be spoiling it? Why you could tell I wanted to like set it up, and you gotta be out here ruining shit. You're the guy people don't like watching movies with. That's you. That's you, Moot. No, I'm playing. No, but you're right. They had it all fucked up. They had it turned around.
Finds the true death toll in Gaza may be 40% higher than official figures, which now stand at more than 46,000 Palestinians killed and nearly 110,000 wounded. Here in the United States, the House of Representatives voted to sanction the International Criminal Court after it issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former military chief Yoav Gallant for war crimes and crimes against humanity. 45 Democrats joined 198 Republicans to approve the, quote, illegitimate court counteraction act, unquote. In New York, 11 students have been suspended by New York University for 1 year for participating in nonviolent anti-war protests last month. In a statement, NYU faculty and staff for justice in Palestine called the suspensions a draconian case of collective punishment. Palestinian journalists in Gaza gathered for a news conference outside Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in Deir al-Balah.
That's right. We did have one last week, didn't we?
Faculty and staff for justice in Palestine called the suspensions a draconian case of gathered for a news conference outside Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in Deir al-Balah, where they decried the hypocrisy and neglect of international media organizations. This is reporter Abu Bakr Abed.
We are just documenting a genocide against us. It's enough after almost a year and a half. We want you to stand foot by foot with us, because we are like any other journalists, reporters, and media workers all across the globe, no matter the origin, the color, or the race.
Can you imagine the amount of courage that you have to have, like the amount of fucking pure molten steel, forged steel that you have to have in your spirit to know that Israel is a murderous, genocidal, fucking piece of shit nation, targeting children, targeting women, targeting journalists, and you still go because you have to make sure that the word gets out. That's fucking wild. That's wild.
Journalism is not a crime. We are not a target.
To see our interview with Abu Bakr Abed, go to democracynow.org. The Palestinian Journalist Syndicate reports nearly 200 journalists have been killed in Israeli attacks since October 7, 2023. Over 400 others have been wounded or arrested. In more media news, the New York Times has come under fire after it refused to run a paid ad by the American Friends Service Committee that referred to Israel's war on Gaza as a genocide. The ad read in part, quote, "Tell Congress to stop arming Israel's genocide in Gaza now," unquote. Joyce Al-Jalouni.
This is how you control the media right here. This is how you control the media. And this is why you have to be very careful. Let me just like say something real quick. This is why you have to be careful to steel yourself against bigotry and anti-Semitism. Just because it is anti-Semitic and a Nazi trope to talk about how Jews control the world and control da-da-da-da, that doesn't mean that there are not people in power who want to make sure that the war machine continues to go, that we maintain our presence in the Middle East, right? This is not about Jews controlling the world. This is about Western imperialism making sure that our puppet nation, that is Israel, maintains power in that area. And they're going to do that by controlling the media, controlling what you're allowed to say, controlling. We sat there and we watched Jewish students talk about how they felt uncomfortable going to school. We saw people get fired. We saw people lose, they lost their jobs. They lost scholarships, all to control the narrative. Just how he won against the indigenous. 100%. 100% propaganda painting indigenous people as savages, and all the while these are people just protecting their land, protecting their home. And they were savages. They were, if the word terrorist had been around then, they would have been terrorists. Grew up learning about the Holocaust and how evil Nazis were, and now Israel's doing what Nazi did. It really makes me rethink a lot of things. 100%. 100%. 100,000%.
General Secretary of AFSC called the move, quote, an outrageous attempt to sidestep the truth, adding, quote, Palestinians and allies have been silenced and marginalized in the media for decades as these institutions choose silence over accountability. The AFSC is a Quaker organization. President Jimmy Carter's state funeral was held Thursday at the...
It's not even... You can't even say, oh, this is communism or something. It's a Quaker religious Christian organization who is not for the genocide, and they're like, nah, you're anti-Semitic. You're anti-Semitic now. If you don't support the genocide, you're anti-Semitic.
The National Cathedral in Washington, D.C., all 5 living presidents were there. President Biden delivered a eulogy.
Throughout his life, he showed us what it means to be a practitioner of good works and a good and faithful servant of God and of the people. And today, many think he was from a bygone era. But in reality, he saw well into the future.
Following the ceremony, Carter's body was returned to his hometown of Plains, Georgia, where there was a private funeral, so he could be buried next to his wife of 77 years, Rosalind Carter. After headlines, we'll continue our look at the presidency and legacy of Jimmy Carter. The Democratic Republic of Congo.
I wonder if we watch that, and I'm sure we would, because Democracy Now! is definitely one of the reliable ones for sure. But I wonder if they go into the fact that he definitely armed and supported genocides in Southeast Asia. It's funny because I would definitely have to agree that Jimmy Carter was, one of the better ones. But like, where's the bar? The bar's in hell. You know what I mean? And then you start looking into like everything that he really did, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's a piece of shit too. Cool.
Has banned Al Jazeera after it published an interview with the leader of the M23 rebel group, which recently seized territory in mineral-rich eastern Congo. M23, which has been accused of widespread, indiscriminate violence, took control of the town of Masisi last week, which is roughly 50 miles from the city of Goma. The UN said recent fighting in the eastern DRC had displaced over 100,000 people in about a week. Rwandan President Paul Kagame, who's long been accused of backing the M23, called on Congolese officials to start negotiating with the rebel group. Planned peace talks between DRC President Felix Tshisekedi and Paul Kagame were called off last month after Congo's presidency said the Rwandan delegation refused to take part. Meanwhile, Amnesty International is calling on President Tshisekedi to immediately halt plans to execute 170 Congolese prisoners convicted of armed robbery and to abolish the death penalty. A number of European leaders are calling on the European Union to stop Elon Musk from meddling in national elections after the billionaire CEO hosted the head of Germany.
I can't get over that swallowing sound sometimes. No, yeah, nobody is above getting called out for fuckery.
His far-right AfD party on his social media platform X. During Thursday's 75-minute virtual live encounter, Musk heaped praise on Alice Weidel and her far-right anti-immigrant party as it campaigns for German elections February 23rd. On Thursday, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez made a clear reference to Musk during a speech commemorating the 50th anniversary of the death of the Spanish fascist dictator Francisco Franco.
The international far right that we've been opposing in Spain for years, led in this case by the richest man on the planet, openly attacks our institutions, incites hatred, and openly supports the heirs of Nazism in Germany in the next elections to be held in the most important country in the European economy.
Meanwhile, in Austria, tens
The heir of Nazi Germany. I gotta look into that. Let me write that down. This is going to be really, really, really important, especially with the Trump win already in hand. We have Italy. The Italian prime minister is a fascist. Sweden, Sweden's fascist party is in power, I believe. And now Germany might have a fascist deal. German elections.
of thousands of people held protests in Vienna and other Austrian cities Thursday as the ultranationalist Freedom Party and its leader, Herbert Kickl, began talks to form a coalition government. President-elect Trump is being sentenced by a New York court today over his 34-count hush money and 2016 election subversion conviction, making him the first felon who will serve as U.S. president. This comes after the Supreme Court denied Trump's request to halt today's sentencing. Meanwhile, a federal appeals court ruled Thursday the Justice Department can release part of its report on Trump.
That's how you know he didn't. That's how you know he didn't know what was coming. I guarantee you, Trump was shitting bricks today, because he was like, "Man, if they make me sit in fucking prison until Inauguration Day or something," but no such luck.
Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, Trump could still ask the Supreme Court to block the report's release. And a federal judge in Kentucky threw out the Biden administration's expanded Title IX rules, handing a win to Republican-led states as they carry out more attacks on transgender youth. The Education Department had sought to expand the long-standing federal policy protecting against sex-based discrimination in schools to include LGBTQ+ and transgender students, as well as pregnant people and survivors of sexual assault. And those are some of the headlines.
Yeah, and then of course what we're gonna have is the end of the Education Department, which again is not by man, this thing is not working at all now. Not even the volume. Man, ain't that some shit? Here we go. It's on the chopping block, so that's great. That's fucking great. It's on the chopping block to go. So any agency that could have possibly provided some sort of buffer between what Trump wants to do is going to be gone. John Stewart, the judge said beforehand he would not serve any jail time. Yeah, no, 100%. It was known what was coming for sure. Matter of fact, let's just go right into that. So Trump sentencing.
Let's impose sentence, please.
Donald Trump, you're before the court for sentence following your conviction by trial to 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Before being sentenced, the court will allow you, your attorney, and the assistant district attorney an opportunity to address the court with any matters relevant to sentencing. For the people.
Thank you. Judge, where's the preferred place for me to stand?
Wherever you feel comfortable.
The defendant in this case, as you know, stands convicted of 34 counts of falsifying business records in the first degree, all Class E felonies. Each carries a range of authorized sentencing options for as much as 1 1/3 to 4 years in state prison to a variety of non-incarceratory sentences. In this court's January 3rd decision on the defendant's Clayton motion, Your Honor indicated an inclination to impose an unconditional discharge. Under all the circumstances of this case, its unique posture and the defendant's status as president-elect, the people recommend a sentence of an unconditional discharge. In finding the defendant guilty in this case, the jury necessarily found unanimously that the defendant falsified 34 separate entries in his business records with the intent to defraud, which included an intent to commit or conceal a conspiracy to promote his own election by unlawful means. Having presided over the trial, Your Honor is very familiar with the conduct, its seriousness, and the overwhelming evidence to support the jury's verdict. I'm certainly not going to rehash that now. In last week's decision on January 3rd, this court referred to the gravamen of the defendant's conduct, his criminal conduct in this case, as constituting, quote, premeditated and continuous deception.
The fact that they could say all this and then with a straight face go, and we don't want anything to happen. This was serious. He was found guilty before a jury of his peers, and this was purposeful and was sought to defraud the American people, and then it's like, and we would like to see it, discharged. Okay. Cool. Wasn't it Trump talking about a 2-tiered legal system? Wasn't it that? I'm pretty sure it was.
The verdict was delivered by a jury that was carefully chosen using an extensive questionnaire based on suggestions from both parties and after thorough questioning of the prospective jurors by both sides. The verdict in this case was unanimous and decisive, and it must be respected. As this court has observed, quote, the sanctity of a jury verdict and the deference that must be accorded to it is a bedrock principle in our nation's jurisprudence. The defendant's conduct before, during, and after this trial also merits consideration. Instead of preserving, protecting, and defending our constitutionally established system of criminal justice, the defendant, the once and future President of the United States, has engaged in a coordinated campaign to undermine its legitimacy.
What are you doing?
Far from expressing any kind of remorse for his criminal conduct, the defendant has purposefully bred disdain for our judicial institutions and the rule of law.
What are you doing? Why say any of this? This doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it's almost like they're rubbing it in your face. It's like, look, this guy's a piece of shit. He didn't give one fuck about the law. He didn't care. He saw disdain. He didn't care about the rule of law, blah, 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 blah. I just want everybody to know this is the shit you can get away with if you could become president.
And he's done this to serve his own ends and to encourage others to reject the jury verdict that he finds so distasteful. He has characterized these proceedings as corrupt, rigged, a witch hunt, or a sham too many times to tabulate. The defendant's rhetoric has only ratcheted up since this court's rulings on his motions to dismiss. He has been unrelenting in his unsubstantiated attacks upon this court and its family, individual prosecutors and their families, the witnesses, the grand jury, the trial jury, and the justice system as a whole. The defendant has not only been held in contempt by other jurists in other matters, but this court alone found the defendant in contempt for 10 distinct violations of the order restricting extrajudicial speech. In his legal filings, the defendant has used dangerous rhetoric in leveling accusations of intentionally unlawful and unconstitutional conduct on the part of this court and the prosecution. As this court has noted, the defendant's conduct, quote, constitutes a direct attack on the rule of law.
Oh, this is half an hour long. Hold on. Okay. I thought it was just gonna be like, let's see here. You know what? All that shit I was talking. Let me see something.
Felon?
Nah, he already started. Never mind. He started off saying that they're seeking a discharge.
He pursues whatever appeals he intends to pursue.
And so that's sad. And I hope, and I know that President Trump shares this view, that this will never happen again in this country. And so we sad day, but the majority of the American people also agree that this case should not have been brought.
Wrong.
I mean, the interesting thing about the fact that there was a trial for the first time in our history, a criminal trial during an election season, is that the American voters got a chance to see and decide for themselves whether this is the kind of case that should have been brought. And they decided. And that's why in 10 days, President Trump is going to assume the office of the President of the United States. And certainly we're here for the court to sentence President Trump to an unconditional discharge. And for that, it's a very sad day. It's a sad day for President Trump and his family and friends.
You said it. It's a sad day that he's going to get an unconditional discharge when he belongs in prison.
But it's also, in counsel's view, a sad day for this country because this was a case, without a doubt, that was brought by a district attorney who promised that he would go after President Trump if elected and felt like he had to go through with that promise.
Yeah, why wouldn't he? He committed a crime.
And I hope,
and the crime was proven.
Trump shares this view that this will never happen again in this country. And so we certainly understand where we are today. We very much intend on pursuing an appeal of this verdict.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. This has been
Here we go. Here's Trump.
Very terrible experience. I think it's been a tremendous setback for New York and the New York court system. This was a case that Alvin Bragg did not want to bring. He thought it was, from what I read and from what I hear, inappropriately handled before he got there. A gentleman from a law firm came in and acted as a district attorney.
We have some good brain rot coming up.
From what I heard, was a criminal or almost criminal in what he did. It was very inappropriate. It was somebody involved with my political opponent. Part of the records that we're talking about, they're saying, I just noticed where he said I was falsifying business records. Well, the falsification of business records, as they say it, was calling a legal expense in the books where everybody could see them, a legal expense. In other words, that legal fees or legal expense were put down as legal expense by accountants. They weren't put down by me, they were put down by accountants. I didn't call them construction, concrete work. I didn't call them electrical work. I didn't call them any. They called a legal fee.
He's re-adjudicating the case because all this has been said and makes me want to throw up. So we're not finishing that. Everything that he's saying has already been mentioned in the case that he lost, as decided by a jury of his peers. So he can go fuck himself. Oh, bitch. Wait. Reopen, close tab.
Sadly, 10 people have now died as the fire.
Yeah, let's go into the fires. Yeah, we will. We definitely will have brain rot today. We're gonna get back to the balloon pop because look, there's just something about the level of cope and rejection. Sometimes it's feel good, right? Sometimes it's feel good, and it's like, oh, that's cute. Let's go. I'm glad they got together. Yada yada yada. And sometimes it's like, it's messy, and I will never, ever, 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 ever apologize for liking messy.
Fires continue to burn in LA County. Take a look. I want to show you the map. It shows the major fires burning as we speak. Entire neighborhoods have been destroyed.
Altogether, the fires have burned more than 35,000 acres, destroyed more than 10,000 structures, and at least 180,000 people have been forced to evacuate. The Palisades and Eaton fires are now in the top 20 most destructive wildfires in California history.
Today, President Biden and Vice President Harris announced the federal government will cover 100% of costs for the initial disaster response. The White House says the funds will cover debris removal, shelter for families, and salaries for first responders for up to 180 days. They also announced generators for water supply and more firefighting equipment, including equipment from Canada, is on the way. It all comes as calls are growing to do more to tackle climate change.
I'm going to make
Canada, the same country that Trump is threatening with tariffs and says and is trolling about having become the 51st state. Canada, and you know what's even more than that? Mexico sent firefighters. We don't deserve it. We don't fucking deserve that shit.
an appeal right now to the United States Congress. They're going to have to step up when we ask for more help. More help to get these people the kind of shelter they need, to get the kind of help they need, because it really does matter.
We have got to invest as a country in adaptation, and we have to invest in resilience. And that is about...
Yeah, 30% of the firefighters are incarcerated. You're 100% right. And that right there is the way we know slavery was never abolished. They just moved it. They just moved it. They hid it. And we are okay with it. And speaking of that, guess what was on the ballot for California this year? Ending prison slavery. And it fucking lost. That's my home state. And I say they don't fucking deserve any of that shit. They fucking lost.
Homeowners, that is about families, that is about cities and local governments, state governments.
The Biden administration also mentioned mental health concerns after the fires and called on the federal government to be prepared to help.
Tonight, we're getting a clearer look at the destruction of these fires as the number of deaths rises. New video just into our newsroom paints a startling image of the ghostly ruins many people are returning home to. This new drone video Thursday night shows the scope of the devastation from the Eaton fire in Altadena. Burning buildings, thick black smoke, and footprints and empty shells of what used to be people's homes and businesses.
Oh, wow.
We're getting our first look at this dramatic inside view of someone's Ring security camera recording their property being consumed by flames from the Palisades fire. Authorities are now bringing in cadaver dogs, saying they don't know the exact death toll.
At one point, we'll be able to do a more thorough search of these impacted areas. Some of them look like a bomb was dropped in them.
The family of 66-year-old Victor Shaw says he died in a heroic attempt to defend his home in Altadena.
I opened the front door and I just yelled in, "Victor, we got to get out. This is it. We have to get out. The fire's here." And I didn't hear him say anything. I heard him say nothing. So I ran to the car and I just got out. I just got out. And I went down the street and there was a police car and I flagged him. And I said, "My brother's in the house, I need help." And he told me to get out. He said, "Go."
After finding his body out front, a garden hose still in his hand.
I can't imagine what he might have been thinking, how he might have been so frightened. And I couldn't be here. I couldn't be here to save him. I couldn't be here. That's what hurts the most.
Adding to the anguish, a new fire is burning Thursday night, the Kenneth Fire, prompting mandatory evacuations. These new aerial images show the neighborhoods under threat. A growing number of evacuees are anxiously waiting to get home.
It's really scary when you can see the flames coming up over the houses 2 blocks away, and you're just getting out of the driveway, and the smoke and the ash is so thick you can't even see. you can barely see 5 feet in front of you. It's like Armageddon.
At least 180,000 people are under mandatory evacuation orders, potentially leaving neighborhoods vulnerable to theft.
This is an interesting conversation that's happening in chat right now. That's something that I would like to, I want to dig into that. That's interesting. Because, I mean, I do not have enough faith in humanity to think that that the reason it lost was because some people were confused, which, I mean, clearly I'm not calling you a liar. So if you were confused, I'm sure other people were confused. But I wonder how many of the people who voted wrong was because they were confused and how many were just pieces of shit. And I just don't have enough faith in people to think that, oh, it lost because they were confused. I think there were some that were confused and many others who were pieces of shit. The U.S. justice system has never been about justice, just revenge. Exactly. That's why you can make documentaries about the 14th Amendment. You could talk about whatever. You could talk about whatever. 13th Amendment. I don't know. Anyways, I probably should know that. No one will care. No one will care when you know they had that expose about the prison in Arizona. You know, having them live outdoors as punishment in 100-degree weather under tents. No one cares. Doesn't matter. You know, sexual assault is rampant. Murder is rampant. Doesn't matter. Who cares? They're prisoners. Fuck them. It doesn't matter that they might be in there, unjustly accused. It doesn't matter if it's nonviolent crimes. It doesn't matter what it is. They're prisoners. Fuck them. Wild.
Authorities say they've made at least 20 looting arrests.
That is unacceptable behavior. Having additional resources, having the National Guard with us, which will augment those resources, will help send a stronger message, keep people out of the impacted areas so we don't continuously victimize the people who have already been victimized, who have lost their home.
Just absolutely heartbreaking stuff. You know, one key player in the firefight is CAL FIRE at McClellan Air Base. They have been sending critical air resources to Southern California. ABC 10's Garshpal Sangha has a closer look.
At CAL FIRE's McClellan Air Base in Sacramento, it is a
wind gusts moving in. You can see very unhealthy to hazardous air quality in the region.
Yeah, I don't know if they talked about this, but Ernie was telling me that Carter couldn't go to work. I don't know how many days or for how long or whatever, but the air quality where he was at was in the red, and they couldn't go outside because it was harmful to be outside. And so they shut down work because of the smoke. Fucking wild.
Region futurecast winds through tonight, strong downslope winds, as you can see. But take a look as we start moving through Friday morning, even stronger winds. Simi Valley at 43-mile-per-hour wind gusts, calm as we move through Friday night. Then the big gusts are back as we start moving through our Saturday. We'll talk more about what to expect in Southern California and here back at home coming up.
Carly, thank you. The ongoing fires in LA have caused many people, especially lawmakers, to criticize how the governor and LA's mayor are handling the situation. This as lawmakers at the Capitol are in the middle of a special session to prepare for legal battles with the incoming Trump administration. Republican Assemblymember Bill Asaley.
There was a dog that she needed to take her take her dog out for a walk, and it was a video that they had to have like a smoke mask on the dog. Man, I'm just putting down newspaper at that point. There's no way.
He sent Governor Gavin Newsom this letter.
Yeah, I said that earlier. Mexican, and I want to see if they bring it up here. I am skipping forward a bit, so maybe we miss it. But I do find it ironic that the Canadian and the Mexican firefighters are coming up to help, while our future president in 10 days is talking shit about both countries so much.
Demanding a stop to the special session to focus on the firefight in LA. He says a special session should be called to find more resources for the firefight instead of trying to fight the incoming president.
I just believe that's the wrong policy and priority.
I really hope that every anti-masker MAGA dude in California is out there just taking the deep breaths, just deep, like don't mask up, don't be a sheep. Get your ass out there and take some deep breaths.
We should be focusing on fireproofing the state.
Lawmakers are expected
What's going
to
on,
continue the
Fend the
special
Monster
session hearing
Floof?
on Monday.
Well, the president and vice president also heard from FEMA today. They say there will be gaps in coverage.
Well,
and
you
federal
don't fucking
agencies
say.
and nonprofits will have to step in to help.
ABC 10's Becca Habiger talked one-on-one today with California's insurance commissioner, taking these concerns directly to him.
That's fucking wild. Look at that shit. That's like a fucking.
Who lost their home in the
That's
Los
like a
Angeles
scene out of a horror movie, dude. That's fucking wild.
wildfires also lost insurance coverage as their policy was canceled or non-renewed in recent months.
We're going to see who's non-renewed. We're also looking at if you were non-renewed, but you're still essentially covered within the deadline, then do you still have coverage?
California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara points out state regulation requires insurance companies to give customers 75 days notice before their policy
I shared
is
it on
canceled or non-renewed.
Threads.
So even if someone got a notice before the fires, they might
that baby
still
dog.
have coverage.
The other question is, what happens to the folks who are not insured? You know, so we're going to rely on the federal government and FEMA to offer services and the state to be able to offer.
Boy, I wish I would help, but we just sent like X amount of billions of dollars to Israel and Ukraine, and I would help, but I just can't. Kind of tight. Money's tight right now. I hope you understand.
Some sort of reprieve for folks who may not have coverage. But right now we're in the middle of assessing, what insurance are covered in the area, who doesn't have coverage.
He says it's too soon to estimate a dollar figure for the losses, especially since homes and businesses are still actively burning and threatened.
Easily in the billions. It'll be in the billions.
Make sure that insurance companies pay these claims out as quickly as possible.
Many homes here are on the expensive and bare-bones California FAIR Plan, a state-mandated, privately funded insurer of last resort. The number of people on the FAIR Plan ballooned in recent years as private insurers have paused or limited business in California, citing the rising risk of wildfires, high cost of rebuilding homes, and state regulations. I asked Laura.
So just to be clear, FAIR Plan customers who lose their home
There's so many reasons why I know I can never get out back to California.
In a statement, the FAIR Plan told ABC 10, "We are aware of misinformation being posted online regarding the FAIR Plan's ability to pay claims. The FAIR Plan has payment mechanisms in place, including reinsurance, to ensure all covered claims are paid." As for future fires, Commissioner Lara has enacted a one-year moratorium on insurance companies dropping or non-renewing customers within the immediate area of the Los Angeles wildfires. So those who do have coverage right now will continue having it for at least a year.
Oh, so check that shit out. I misunderstood. So this wasn't them like protecting the people who got caught. This is protecting the people who didn't get dropped yet. And then they're telling them, hey, these people who didn't get dropped, you can't drop them for 1 year. If you're one of the people that just recently got cut and you're outside of the deadline to get reinsured, that's it. You're done. You better hope there's some spare change that didn't go to Israel.
Are offering solutions too. Today, 2 Assembly members introduced a bill that would authorize the FAIR Plan to request bonds from the state.
Now, in the event the FAIR Plan faces
once you're dropped. Same thing happened in Florida. Insurance companies, flood insurance companies were bailing out of Florida, and it took the law to like stop them from leaving. Yeah, exactly, Mutel, exactly. Maybe here, let me see. I'm gonna do something. Hold on.
Just following a major catastrophe like a wildfire, that money would help finance the cost of paying insurance claims.
Oh, fucking shit. But you know what? At least people are being very normal about it. Very, very normal. Here's Mayor Karen Bass. By the way, there was some back and forth regarding the funding, right? So the funding for the fire department, for the Los Angeles Fire Department, there was, and it took me a little bit to get like figured out, like to let the information settle, because did the fire department lose $17 million in their budget and have it go to the LAPD? Well, some Democrat, bootlicker type, he was a Biden staffer, I don't know, some fucking dude, and was talking about, nope, that's not true. There was a money set aside, and so the initial amount looks like da. Politico came out and like supported that, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, hey, maybe if it's wrong, it's wrong. Politico corrects their shit, takes it away because nope, they were wrong. Yeah, the Los Angeles Fire Department was. We talk about how we talk about defunding the police, and we've been talking about defunding the police since the summer of 2020. You know what I mean? Like, we have been jumping up and down on people's desks, burning down whole cities. That's why Portland doesn't exist anymore. That's why Seattle doesn't exist anymore. These smoldering holes of cities that just don't exist anymore because, we went crazy and burned down everything. We've been telling them defund the police. And what does Los Angeles do? They defund the fire department and increase the funds to the police. I hate it here. Why is this not going? Oh, okay, here we go.
Apology. Have you no response to that? Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor?
17 million.
Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say?
So
to citizens today?
she's like at an air thing. She's waiting to be called out to the airfield, so she can't go anywhere.
Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home?
Was she in Ghana for business? For official reasons? Hey, can somebody find me that picture of Luigi Mangione where he's like he's looking like a saint? Can someone like DM me that on Discord? I should have had that ready.
Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens?
I can't find it.
As you return?
Ah, never mind. I found it.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Here we go. Yeah. So there's the mayor's response to Sky News. Trying to get answers. What's going on here?
Insurance industry, Florida getting a taste of this. What's going to happen?
I mean, this was already an industry in crisis, and then you add on what is just a traumatic tragedy that is still happening. I mean, there were already insurance companies that were pulling out of some zip codes that a lot of folks who might not even have insurance this morning when they're waking up here. California coming in with a sort of an insurer of last resort that will be tested for sure. And then people around the rest of the country have noticed their own insurance premiums rising. This isn't just a California or a Florida story where we're talking about extreme weather. Everyone's insurance rates, premiums have been rising for a few years. So this is I would say a tipping point for insurance, no question. This math is just impossible math. In California, over the past decade.
So I thought this was a pretty good picture. I like the composition. I like the colors of this picture. It has a really good, you could just tell whoever did this picture has a really good grasp of it could be Photoshop, but if it's an original piece, it's really good. Okay, so back to insurance and the wildfires.
insurers, for every $1 in premiums they collected, they paid out $1.08. That just doesn't work.
So, Andrew, let's get you in on this. As you talk to business leaders, industry leaders, how do they see this going? Because it does feel like we're entering a new era.
I think we're entering a new era where it's possible that parts of this country, if not the entirety of it, we'll see how long this goes, are quote unquote uninsurable. I mean, you just discussed math that doesn't add up. And so you could be, have huge premiums, but then the question is, are Americans going to pay those premiums? Are they worth it? What, by the way, is going to be the role of government in all of this to prevent these types of things from happening to the extent they even can be prevented given the climate change that we're seeing? So I think that there's sort of a massive dynamic here. This on the insurable losses, by the way, is now probably up to about $20 billion. But then in total, we're talking about maybe something on the order of $150 billion of losses. Now, part of that's because some of these homes obviously were super valuable, given that they were on the coast and the like. But there's going to be a huge ramification.
No, I'll be honest with you. I have not been
the business ramifications just of what's
I have not been following that.
Whether people are going to stay in California, what the next even several weeks or months or years are going to look like. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot.
Hey, I'm going to test something real quick. I want to see something real quick. I'm going to have them play and I'm going to talk over it. Y'all tell me if the volume of the video is good, right? Like that you can hear them, but when I talk, y'all can hear me clearly. Because I don't want, if it's the same volume, then we're just talking over each other. That doesn't make any damn sense. But just tell me, like, let me know if the volume of the video is good and you can hear me.
Lot of conversation.
So now I'm talking, and if I had a comment about what he's saying, could you understand me clearly and still hear the video clearly?
Absolutely.
How is that? Vinnie Mac is worse than R. Kelly, but what? Really? Oh, it was good, Sig Fang? You heard the video good and heard me good talking over it? Bet. Found it. Found the magic. Why have we not talked about this? I feel like that's a good Nerds of Culture thing since so many people are into wrestling. Vince, you know what's funny? Sometimes Ernie's like, yeah, I can tell like he's tired of talking about something. He's like, I don't fucking feel like talking about X, Y, and Z. Like he's so sick of hearing about stuff or doesn't want to give certain things airtime. So and if he's more connected to wrestling shit than me, maybe that's why we haven't talked about it. But I'll bring it up. Maybe we bring it up on Thursday. Talk about the Vince McMahon stuff.
Absolutely. And in the days since the deadly wildfires in Southern California began, conspiracy theories have started to spread across social media about the origins of the fires and the California government's response to them. There are even AI-generated images of the famous Hollywood sign on fire, something that has not happened. This coming as Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced earlier this week that the company is getting rid of its independent fact-checkers and Steph.
What the fuck does that have to do with the... Okay. Misinformation on social media. Got it. Okay.
Stephanie, I believe Elon Musk is on Instagram spreading conspiracy theories, and it's just out there for people to consume without any understanding about what's true or what's not true.
It is so problematic and it's so dangerous. Mark Zuckerberg clearly made a short-term business decision for himself this week. They're getting rid of third-party fact-checking, and they're actually taking that effort and moving it to Texas. The irony, as though Texas isn't political, it obviously is. But this is a crazy short-term decision. It works for him because, remember, in less than 3 weeks, Donald Trump is going to be the new president. So if Mark Zuckerberg no longer has, quote unquote, the onus on him to mark your tweets or your Instagram posts, your Facebook posts, to take them down if they are not true, to mark them, now he doesn't have to do that, because he would have to do that if he hadn't changed these rules, and that would put him at odds with the president. The question is going to be, though, Mika, for users, right? We have to remember, at the end of the day, if Mark Zuckerberg and all these business leaders make business decisions to make money, remember, we're the ones who use the product. So no longer is there fact checking. And remember, they also rolled back the rules on hate speech. So if now anyone can say anything and there's no protections, then all the people that use these platforms need to decide, do I want to be here? Do I want to drive in a car with no seatbelts? Do I want to get on a roller coaster with no safety protection?
Yeah, that's great, but there's nowhere else to go. I mean, and actually, after this segment, we're going to talk about it more, but there's nowhere else to go. Not really. After we're done talking about the fires, that's the next subject. Play.
Whatsoever. And if users suddenly say no, well, then advertisers will say no. Then Mark Zuckerberg will have a different business decision to make. But right now, they're making this short term. Well, let's just see how it works out. And how it's going to work out could be terrible.
Nika, though, I think there's two other calculations in this. One is the regulatory environment for Mark Zuckerberg. The FTC cases and other cases against them.
They're going to disappear.
And whether those cases disappear and how much value would be extracted for that. The other piece is you look at X. While there's a lot of folks who watch this network who may have stopped going on X, there's a lot of other folks who started going on X and other folks who may not love what's happening on X but stay on X in the same way that we hear about, privacy concerns at some site or, you hear about information getting stolen on some site and then we go back to that same store online the next day. And so there is a question, and I think that Mark Zuckerberg is recognizing that math.
But especially the FTC.
Man, I didn't even do this on purpose. This is a good segue. Love it. Yeah, this is a. Okay, yeah, it's almost done. Well, I'll say. Hold on.
The case coming up. Imagine that is gargantuan.
Right.
It could be hugely damaging to his business. That thing could disappear, and he could also now have Donald Trump in his pocket, helping him with other issues as he's facing governments on the other side
Good night, man-eater.
of the world.
So check this out. All right, you're not gonna be here for the Panama talk. So check this out. Now we'll see what Democracy Now! Has to say about it, but I will tell you this much. I'm not 100% sure. It's not that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt and or anything like that. Taking too long. It's 10 o'clock. I know your ass is not going to sleep. You're going to sit there and stare at your phone for the next 4 hours, and you're still going to be awake when I get off. Let's see here. Today's Friday. Oh, you woke up early. I got you. I feel you. You're right. Hold on. Meta full contest sport. You're right. That she does need her beauty sleep. Y'all seen her profile picture. You can't have a profile picture like that and lose sleep. I'm just saying it's a science. It's science. Profile moderation changes. All right, bet. Do you think social media has gotten to a point where it's integral to or was of life as a society? Could we go without it if it came to that? Okay. That's a really good question. And I'm going to answer it. Man, I fucking hate that the Stream Deck is not working right now. Like, I want to restart my OBS, but that means disconnecting and I'm not doing all that. So we're just going to have to do it the hard way. Here we go. Check this out. Here's what I think. Now you don't have to stay up. If you don't want to support the show, if you don't want to support the channel, it's fine. I'm just kidding. All right. So check this out. Video vertical sources. Sorry, hold on. I want to be able to see the there we go. Why is the temp text? Boom. Whoa, that's huge. Bring that down here. Boom. All right, bet. Let's take this bad boy. Come over here. Camera. Boom. We'll do like that. Yeah. All right. So check this out. Oh, I know. I give her shit. She's at 66 months. 66 months. She has my back for sure. I just like making her feel bad. So check this out. Do I think that social media right now in its current form is necessary? The easy answer is no. I do not think it's necessary. However, I do believe that the the way that it's a double-edged sword. I do believe that the way that we have received information and the way that we have it has become harder. It has become harder and easier all at once to get misinformation. Unfortunately, it does take a certain level of critical thinking, and we like using the words media literacy to be able to like sift through that information. But there was a time where you just had to trust your local newspaper or what the news said at 10 p.m. or the 8 o'clock news or whatever. There were these bubbles that people lived in, and there was nothing they could do. There was nothing they could do unless you were privileged enough to be able to travel around the world and bounce around and be able to experience different things. A lot of these newspapers, a lot of like the bigger ones that talked about international news were a paid subscription. So again, it took privilege to be able to. It was a privilege. It took money to even better inform yourself. Right? I mean, you had encyclopedias and stuff, but that's just for history. That's for established information. When we're talking about current events, you only had what was gonna pop up on the 10 o'clock news. Do you know where your children are? Yeah, I remember that. I remember that, watching it real time too. Personally, and I think if somebody came up with an opposing opinion, I think I would find it valid. Personally, I think that the benefit of having global information at your fingertips, should you have the media literacy and the critical thinking skills to be able to sift through it, the value in that, the way that it has shrank the planet, right? I mean, people have fallen in love and gotten married and had children together, and they were residents of different countries, And I'm not talking about passport bros or mail order brides or nothing. I'm talking about just the way that the internet has shrank the globe to be able to have this interaction with other people. And when it comes to being familiar with other cultures, from experiencing other things, when you don't have the material means to be able to do so otherwise, the fact that it can also be used for misinformation, it doesn't outweigh the good for me. Let's see. We need it. If it's not churches and green books and Bibles or bingo halls or VFW, there will be a point of nexus that allows us to silo. Yep. But with the reach that it has, the number of people making a living from it has changed over the years. And that right there is actually a good point. Well, John Stewart right there is, why didn't it pop up? Is it hidden somewhere? Here, let's do this. Yeah, so what John Stewart said right there, I know what you're saying, the reach that it has, the number of people making a living from it has changed over the years. Isn't that fucking interesting? Isn't that fucking interesting? Think about this for a second. As a leftist, right, as a socialist, when I talk about, what capitalism does to a society, typically, we're talking about it from the perspective of labor, right? We're talking about it with regard to the means of production, the democratization of the workplace. This is why leftists support unions, right? Not to say that unions are perfect, but the through line from the democratic socialist all the way to the communist is labor and the means of production, right? Anytime you inject that capitalistic mindset, it's just going to be a cancer. When we inject money and capitalism into politics, we have corruption and bought politicians. And that's what's happened to the internet. I don't know if I'm a part of that system, right? Like, is Ernie a part of that system? Are people bigger than, making a lot of money off this stuff, a part of that system? They are, but you become a part of the the shit that has to be sifted through, you know, and you just got to hope that your information is found over the rest. I still say that the value of like even us here, right? Us being able to come here, whether it's on the Discord or during a stream or Nerds of Culture, whatever it is, to become here and bounce ideas off each other. Sometimes, you know, I see Devontre challenging people. Some people challenging Devontre. I get challenged. Like this is good. You know what I mean? And we are from all parts of the United States, if not the globe. If somebody else is you know, from a, you know, I know Nerds of Culture, you know, that has people from outside the country. How else would we be able to bounce these ideas off of each other if it wasn't for this? You know what I mean? It would be impossible. And yeah, January 6th was organized on the internet. You know what I mean? What is that? There's that white supremacy website that never gets taken down. I can't remember. It was I can't remember what it's called. But I mean, there's a website where you can go learn to become a better white supremacist. You know what I'm saying? Stormfront. There you go. Thank you. I mean, yeah, you have democracy now, but you also have Stormfront. You know what I mean? And you just gotta like, I don't know. That's a long answer. That's a long answer, but I'll tell you this much. I think our society will be worse if we were to get rid of social media. That doesn't mean that individuals will be worse if they got rid of social media. If that makes sense. Let's see what she has to say.
Like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org/give. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
I'm Nermeen Sheikh. Welcome to our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world. Out with the fact checkers. That was the message delivered by...
I got banned and locked out recently for saying some funny shit. It was funny. It was funny. I did think it was. I'm gonna share the story real quick before we get into it. So, Maneater says, "Oh my God, they just banned me," and I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" And then she's like, "Oh, I said some shit and I was just joking. I put just joking." I was like, "What?" And like, it didn't tell you you know, to change your shit. It usually gives you like a warning. And then Maneater's like, "No, it didn't even warn me. It just, you know, I just woke up and it was banned." I'm like, "What did you say?" What did you say? "I'm super tired right now. Monster's not going to do it. I need cocaine, period, send." Obviously joking. She goes, obviously joking. I'm like, "You put, I need cocaine in your thing?" She goes, "Yeah, but I was kidding." I'm like, what? Like, we live in a world where people say unalive and grape and corn and shit like that. But this, my wife is out there like, "Does anybody have some cocaine?" JK. You know, like, that's what, yeah, you got banned. What's wrong with you?
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg, as he announced sweeping changes at Facebook, Instagram, and Threads.
I'm sorry, that whole story, disregard that. Meta was racist. They saw she was a brown woman and they attacked her. That's what happened.
Zuckerberg outlined the new changes in a video posted online.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech.
Isn't this interesting right here? It's like Zuckerberg is not reading the room, or he is. Zuckerberg is reading the room and goes, "I'm going to just say it. I'm going to say the thing. The recent elections lets you know that there's a tipping point in what do you mean? What do you mean by that?" So you're saying because Trump won, we see what people like you're saying the thing. Apparently, the people who saw Trump operate from 2016 to 2020 wanted to see him again. So clearly, we need to make sure we are doing things the way Elon Musk is doing things, because we need to make this website more friendly to white supremacists.
So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy.
The legacy media, you bitch, you didn't stop those things or fact checked it because of legacy media. You fact checked them because it wasn't good for you. Like, no one forced him to fucking do that shit.
We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US.
Now, I will say something. I will say something, and this is something that I have not heard people talk about yet. Do you guys know who was doing the fact checking for Israel for Meta? Like, this was, this is where I think people aren't being like completely like, I don't know if we're being completely fair, right? It wasn't the ADL, but it was a journalist. It was a Zionist, or it was a right-wing conservative Zionist rag. We look into it. Some of the people on the staff of this, I wish I remember the name off the top of my head, but you guys know me. My memory's not that good. But if you look it up, the people that were on the board of that company were part of the people who helped write the Project 2025. So I'm not sure. I'm not saying this is a good thing, but I'm not sure it's completely fair to be like, oh, they were too biased. He's clearly talking about left wingers. Like, well, he's not wrong. I mean, you did put fucking Zionists in charge of fact checking Israel shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but does that mean that things are going to be great now that we're going to be relying on content, actual users to be able to decide what we're going to click and what we're going to mass report or not? Community notes. Somebody made a good point too. He's going to bring it up here. He's going to bring it up here in a second with regard to limiting political content on Meta. And he goes, well, then people started saying they did want to see it. Oh, weird. Now that the Republicans are in power, we're going to allow politics in Meta. Got it. This is some bullshit, Robo. That's like Disney saying because Trump won in the current political climates, we're putting tar babies and picking in. Well, close. See, it is like that. Except now it's saying Disney saying because Trump won, we're gonna stop supporting trans kids and we're gonna pull all our trans stuff and it probably won't be the same. It probably won't end there. I mean. It's probably also going to start including other shit, the entire LGBT stuff on their stuff, because they're going to now fall in line with Trump.
That's Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Nicole Gill, the head of Accountable Tech, called Meta's move a, quote, gift to Donald Trump and extremists around the world. The decision comes weeks after Zuckerberg dined with Trump at Mar-a-Lago and after Meta donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration. On Tuesday, Meta also appointed a close Trump ally, Dana White,
fucking
to the company's
White.
board. White is the CEO of
famed wife beater
Ultimate Fighting Championship. Trump praised the new Meta policies.
Honestly, I think they've come a long way. Meta, Facebook, I think they've come a long way.
Mark Zuckerberg also announced other changes, including a loosening of rules over what kind of content can be posted on Facebook and the other sites. Under the changes, women can be referred to as household objects. Meta users will once again be allowed to say gay and trans people have mental illness and more. To talk about what Meta's new policies mean in the U.S. and worldwide, we're joined by three guests. In Manila, Philippines, we're joined by Maria Ressa, founder, CEO, and executive editor of the Philippine independent news site Rappler. She won the Nobel Peace Prize in 2021 for her work defending free expression in the Philippines. Her book is titled How to Stand Up to a Dictator.
Get your ass over here. There's Dana White. There's Dana White, the guy who just got hired. Trump ally, and now on the board of Meta.
Fight for Our Future. Siva Vaidyanathan is the author of Anti-Social Media, How Facebook Disconnects Us and Undermines Democracy. He's professor of media studies and director of the Center for
no
Media
repercussion.
and Citizenship at the University of Virginia. His piece for The Guardian just out, giving well over $1 million to the inauguration and put one of his closest allies, Trump's allies that is, on his board, fits into that concept and what it means, digital authoritarianism.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me. I mean, digital authoritarianism, broadly speaking, is the use of digital technology for authoritarian ends. You know, it's fundamentally anti-democratic. And I think Zuckerberg's move is indicative of the authoritarian direction that the United States is going. He is essentially saying that the social media company, or Meta, is subservient to the whims of the political...
Yeah, what is this called? This is called obedience in advance or some shit like that, right? It's called obedience in advance. It's like, oops, okay, I got a new daddy coming in. It's time to clean up shop because he's going to sick the government on me if I don't.
Elite.
Money.
It's
all about money.
Part of digital authoritarianism here that's really important is this notion of the post-truth. Authoritarianism thrives on the absence of facts. It thrives on a war on reality. Why is that the case? Well, because authoritarian leaders, they're not
comply in advance. That's it. Yep.
To discredit them, as we know that Trump was documented as being one of the most lying presidents and politicians in history. But they want an alternative reality, alternative facts. And the idea of a war on fact checkers really fits in with this, because what it means is that authoritarian leaders, they want people to respect them, they want people to fear them, they fundamentally want people to see the world through their eyes and be submissive to their wishes. And I think that's what this represents, is that Mark Zuckerberg is clearly bending the knee to Trump, not only doing his bidding, but also creating this massive donation. And I think what we need to understand about digital authoritarianism is that we are in a space where we increasingly communicate on digital technologies. Zuckerberg's move is designed not just to, quote unquote, prevent censorship. Here, censorship is a euphemism for actually harm against minorities. Some of the examples you mentioned were women, but also transgender people, but also immigrants were mentioned by Zuckerberg himself. These are all right-wing dog whistles. Essentially what this means it's going to be is open season on these digital platforms for people to attack minorities and to harm them. It's not about reducing censorship. It's actually about increasing digital violence against minorities, which is part of the new, I would say, increasingly autocratic America.
That's exactly right, because the thing is that when it comes to the new way, you know, he's defending it by saying it's not that everything's going to be allowed. It's going to be that we're going to follow reports instead of using an algorithm. Now, I'll be honest with you. There was a part of me that thought that was like, you know what? That might not be so bad. That might not be, I mean, okay. But the fact of the matter is that who is going to be doing the reporting? And if this comes in as a way for right wingers to take control, to take back the social media, then that means that it's not going to be off anything objective. It's going to be about how many people report a thing. So when I say that Israel is committing a genocide, if enough people say that's me being anti-Semitic, then it's anti-Semitic. and then it gets removed from the internet. I don't know. I don't know. I've been looking into some alternative video hosting sites. There's one called, what is it called? It's something Tube, like Free Tube or something like that. I have to look it up later. The problem is that nobody uses those sites, and it's the same thing like going to Blue Sky. Nebula is good, but you gotta have a appreciate the follow. Fast food, I like it. I gotta do a different animation. But yeah, I don't know. I just, there has to be a way. There has to be a way. LubeTube. I don't know. Actually, you know what? I remember I looked it up. Hold on. I'll tell you guys right now, as a matter of fact. The alternatives. I looked it up. Okay, here we go. Stability. So there was Clapper. There's blockchains of PeerTube. Privacy-focused video hosting, PeerTube. It's like a decentralized, video hosting app, but it's kind of like like Blue Sky and Mastodon.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
I appreciate you. I appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Clapper. Yeah. Look, you can get LubeTube, Clapper, all that stuff. WholeTube. No, but PeerTube was supposed to be one that's like it's peer-to-peer. But maybe I start hosting there. You could stream to there too, because here's the thing is, here's what I'll tell you all right now. All right, hear me out. I'm going to tell y'all something. Not you all, like here specifically, but I mean the general y'all. People sometimes really suck at that consistency of principles I was talking about yesterday. It's like any sort of and it's not supposed to be a guilt thing. It's just a matter of frustration when it comes to like being able to hold people, being able to check people. Like, people didn't even want to leave Twitter. People still don't want to leave Twitter. I didn't want to leave Twitter for the longest time. But when I saw that there was a whitelist for people like libs of TikTok and what's his name? The bald dude, the kickboxer, rapist, human trafficker. What's his name? I don't want to charge anybody though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to, it's not about money. It's about Andrew Tate. Yes, thank you, Sig Fang. And Devontre and Sig Fang and Mutel. So I love answering questions like a tick, 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 tick. There was a whitelist on them being able to them saying the N-word with the fucking hard ER, and literally in the code. In the fucking code saying this will not flag. They're allowed to say everything. Like, by that time, it was like, no fucking way. No fucking way am I staying here. Because every single member on that site, every member is an active member that is the reason X.com has any value to Elon Musk at all. It doesn't matter, you don't pay premium. Now, that's not me guilting you out of it, because I was there until like the worst, right? And I'm on Threads, and obviously fucking this dude ain't shit. So it's not about like, why can't you be like me? You know what I mean? It's not about that. Because I'm on Threads and fucking Zuckerberg and shit. But there should be a line, right? Like, we should all have a line. We should all go, okay, it's gotten past this. And I can't fucking abide anymore. And what sucks is, and I was talking about this with Ernie. I think specific, now when I say y'all, I mean you guys. I think the blurred Koa that shows up for streams and comes out and supports, me, Carter, Ernie, I think you all would follow. But think about that. Think about that. Blurred Koa, listen to this. Hear me out. And I'm not throwing shade. This is just truth. Blurred Cave sees anywhere from 150, 200, 300 people a week, right? And typically the same 150, 200, 250 people a week. Nerds of Culture, I would say subtract 50 in the lesser direction for that range. But Blurred has 100,000 subs, 101,000, sorry, respect, right? And he'll put out videos that get thousands and thousands of views. So what happens when 102K, damn, my bad. What happens when Google falls in line, when Meta falls in line, and me, Blurred, we say, you know what? We're going to go start this thing on PeerTube, and we're not going to feed that bullshit anymore. But we think that what we have to say is important enough, and the community that we have is important to keep intact enough to remain on the internet. So we're going to put our product over here. You think 102,000 motherfuckers are following him? You guys are going to follow him. The 100, 200, 250 will follow. And he's going to go from 102,000 to a couple hundred because motherfuckers cannot hold their principles for shit. People just cannot. I cannot be without Amazon. I cannot be without Facebook. I cannot be without fucking Twitter. My favorite thing, you know what I mean? And I don't get it. I don't get it because it is outside of my character. I pissed my family off, my whole family, because it was a family account. Because when Joe Rogan went on his fucking anti-vax bullshit, and there was a move to try to get him for Spotify to check him. I was one of the people, and Spotify lost a ton of money, but they knew. They just know. They lost a lot of money, and they still didn't change. And I went to another platform, and oh my God, why does my Spotify not work? I cut that shit off. We're not fucking supporting Spotify because Joe Rogan's on that shit doing a lot of damage. People are like, nah, I want my Spotify. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Especially if you're somebody like Ernie who pays bills. I'm privileged enough to go, hey, if I go over there, how many people are watching right now? You know what I'm saying? If I haven't checked, but if I'm in the double digits, that's pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? So if I go over there and I stay single double digits, it's like, okay, not much changes. But if you're paying bills like Ernie and you are stuck fucking on some white supremacist platform because if you decide to hold to your principles, you can't put food on your table anymore because people are not going to follow, that sucks. And people like fucking Elon Musk knows it. People like the fucking Mark Zuckerberg Musk knows it. I don't know. That was a fucking rant. I don't know why. I don't know what my point was, but all right, let's get back to it.
Maria Ressa, could we get your response to Meta's new policies? You've said that Zuckerberg's decision would lead to, quote, a world without facts, and that was a world that's right for a dictator. So could you respond to what Mark said now?
There will be a world with facts. It'll just be harder to sift through it. if y'all have never really factored into the importance of source material, you have to really, I don't care if it's something you agree with. I don't even care if it's something that is true. If your source is shit, find a different source. I remember one time, and Maneater knows way better than me, because Maneater's like, she's, grad school therapist, all that stuff. She knows all about research and stuff. But sometimes she gets, we got Spotify. I know, well, that's not saying, yeah, we gotta be in here. Yeah, the family won. But I got it back because I wanted it back. It was just a coincidence. Everybody else wanted it back and wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Like Maneater, she shared something and it was true and the information was true. But I remember, and this isn't about Maneater not doing her due diligence. She's just not terminally online like me. But I noticed it was from the New York Post. Now she knows about the New York Post, but at the time she didn't know what the fuck the New York Post was. It just sounded like a newspaper. I'm like, don't share that shit from them. Like, why? It's true. Trust me. That is a fucking right-wing conspiracy theory rag that is constantly fucking putting out bullshit. Yes, they're right here, but don't. We, especially now with fact checkers and moderation gone, we have to be extra diligent on where we get information from. Extra.
And what you think this means in particular for the Philippines, for social media, Meta social media sites in the Philippines.
Bingo.
Well, I mean, first of all, the Philippines.
You're right, Maneater. I know.
With our own dictators, starting in
I'm just trying to save face over here. Come on.
I would say
you're embarrassing me in front of my friends.
Under our previous president, and now we're in purgatory, while the United States is just headed to hell. It feels like. Let me quickly say, it's not a free speech issue, which is what he claims. It's a safety issue.
100%.
And, exactly what we just heard. What you're seeing is that now this platform, one that unites more than 3.2 billion people around the world, has declared open season on minorities. Actually, it's no longer safe for any person.
Anybody,
Because one of the things that we've learned in the Philippines is that the insidious manipulation on this takes away will. Right. So we already know around the world that it has become a platform that has enabled genocide. This is in Myanmar, in Southeast Asia. Meta itself sent a team and they concurred with the United Nations in 2 separate findings. The second one is this is a platform that hacked our biology, that changes the way we feel, fear, anger, and hate, to change the way we see the world and the way we act. Election interference. What you've seen now is as early as 2016 on Brexit, the UK actually fined Facebook then the largest amount at that point in time because of
this motherfucker would never. Jon Stewart. As long as I am on the internet, Jon Stewart will be there to let me know that Maneater fucking aired my shit out. Damn near literally.
What would be equivalent to election interference. Nothing else was done beyond that. But again, part of the reason the world is where it is, where as of last year, 71% of the world is under authoritarian rule. We are electing illegal.
She tricked me too, by the way. I was like, oh, let me take a picture. And I'm like, yeah, oh, you look good like that. Let me take a picture. I'm like, yeah, take a picture, shit. And then she got, I'm gonna post it on Threads. And I'm over here like, yeah, do it. I don't give a fuck. Like, shit, I don't give a shit. I'm like, she ain't gonna. In my head, I'm like, she ain't gonna do it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, all right, I guess she did it. It's like that TikTok trend. Like, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it, y'all. I did it.
World leaders democratically, partly because our public information ecosystem, social media, Facebook, is corrupting our individual communications with each other, taking away agency.
All right. So, I mean, you guys get the big picture on it. I'm going to say something that can get me banned, but at this point, the size of this channel, I would have to be reported. I almost hope. I almost hope. I'm going to be vague. That something really fucking bad happens as a result of this shit. Because what we saw, like with Pizzagate, what we saw with all the way that with January 6th, with a lot of bullshit that these insane fucking right wingers, spread, and the results of that, yeah. I mean, people are gonna get hurt, and innocent people are gonna be hurt. But we're gonna see the results of what happens, and it's gonna be like, this is you. That blood is on your hands. Yeah, we're done with the fire. Okay. All right. So check this out. Check this out. I learned something new recently, so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm an expert on really kind of anything that we're going to talk about today, especially with regard to Greenland. Did y'all know that Greenland's not really a sovereign country? I had no idea. Apparently, Greenland is like Denmark's Puerto Rico, where they have like a local government and they do some like low-key self-governing, but Denmark is really who owns Greenland. I had no clue. If y'all knew, that's awesome. But I didn't know that. Another thing I learned was that Panama used to be Colombia, and then became Panama in early 1900s, 1911 or some shit like that. And I bring those up because those two right there, Donald Trump has decided that he's going to, for some fucking reason, antagonize and say that he might just have to use military force, and he's talking about taking Greenland. He's talking about taking control of the Panama Canal and won't rule out military force. Now, do I think that he's going to use military force in either one of those occasions? Yeah, probably not. Maneater, can you check your Discord DMs, please? I honestly don't think I taught him that. 1903. There you go. Sorry. See, I said I'd study and I didn't. Let me tell you something. I do not believe for a second that Trump would ever do that. Not because he's too good or too smart. He would not have the support for that. I don't think he would pass Congress. I don't think the people would be okay with that. I know George Bush and Obama did their things without Congress, but they had the support of the people. Like, I don't even think Republicans would get behind that, the average voter. So then you ask, why does he have to say some dumb shit like that then? Well, it's because he is doing his shit. I remember I talked about this on Monday. Because of the way that he does his con, he likes to present as if he's this big tough guy. Man, I'm crazy. I'm fucking crazy. Don't fucking test me. Because you know what happens? The people who are involved with banking and stocks and all this stuff, when it comes to fucking with people's economy, just like with Russia And the way that Russia is allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, somebody like Trump looks at Russia and goes, why don't we do that? Everyone is so afraid. Listen to this. This is fucking the truth because I've talked to fucking MAGA people. These sort of people look at Putin, they look at China and they go, they're allowed to do whatever they want because they're so powerful. We are the most powerful. Why don't we ever do what we want? We do. We do. But they want to do even more, and they don't want to hide it. They don't feel like they should have to hide it. So what Trump wants is, oh, Papa. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. My dog just jumped in. What they want is preference in the Panama Canal. And that's what he's asking for. He's like, why did we build it? And we don't get preference. Well, because that's what the treaty was about. Is international, it's a connection between two international waters, and there is a treaty of neutrality. That's international law. That's what was signed. Hi, buddy. What's up, boy? Hi. We can't play right now, homie. And so since Trump wants that, Panama's like, no. And then Trump's like, okay, well, then I'm gonna come take it. And Panama's like, no, the fuck you're not. We are a sovereign country. Appreciate you helping build that. You know what I mean? We owe you, but it's still a sovereign country. You're not taking this shit. That's what Panama says. And now Trump is talking about how the Chinese are taking control of it. What the fuck are you talking about? The Chinese have nothing to do with they have nothing to do with what's going on in the Panama Canal. You know what the Chinese are there doing? They have ownership of certain ports as business people. You know who else has ownership of ports? The United States and many other countries who do business along the Panama Canal. But it's not them having control of the ports or priority, because nobody has priority. It's first come, first serve. But he's going to sell that to the American people to be able to be like, and he's guarantee this is what's going to happen. He's going to say, we paid for it, we bought it, and then he's going to lie. And by the way, another great transition between no fact checkers on our biggest social media sites, no fact checkers, and he'll be able to go, the Chinese are taking control of the Panama Canal, and now we have to go back down there and take it back. And the whole time, the only Chinese people that are down there are like people who work in the shipyard and businessmen. What is he talking about? We're doing business like you do business. What are you talking about? And it's like, nah, the government is taking control of the whole thing. We got to go down there. And everyone's like, yeah, fuck yeah. And there's no way to check them. And so if he builds that the approval of the people, then he could just say, fuck just like Trump did, just like Obama did. Fuck Congress. I'm going to go do what I need to do overseas. Fact checkers. Am I mumbling and then it says fact checkers? Because we need fact checkers too. Let's see what CNN has to say about it.
To uphold a ban on TikTok that is set to take effect in 9 days. The popular
wrong video. That's the wrong video. Boom.
This is funded by viewers like you. Please support our work at democracynow.org.
Actually, I'm
Style takeover of Greenland or the Panama Canal. So what about the president-elect of the United States? Is Donald Trump serious? Trump, whose growing fixation comes 2 weeks ahead of Inauguration Day in the U.S. He even sent his son to Greenland, much to the dismay of Denmark, that EU members ruled Greenland since 1814. Today, it needs U.S.-led NATO support to stare down the more pressing threat of the Russians in the Baltic Sea. Trump's goaded other allies, suggesting a merger with Canada on the day when his liberal opposite to the north, Justin Trudeau, announced his resignation, or to his south, suggesting we rename the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America. How do the Trudeaus of this world react beyond performative politics? What's it all about? Is the man who wants a Ukraine deal on day one an isolationist or an imperialist at heart? What sets him apart from his Russian and Chinese counterparts? Today in the France 24 debate, we're asking if Trump is serious. Joining us from Copenhagen.
By the way, I'm going to have a hot take real quick. All right? Here's a hot take for everybody. Check this out. I just noticed everybody moved to YouTube. When did that happen? That's dope. Here's what I'll tell you. Gulf of America. Boy, what are you doing? What are you doing? Check this out. One of the things that, okay, let me see how I put this. I don't want to be, okay. One of the things that I've heard a lot is a lot of times there are people who get offended when you call yourself American, right? Especially Latin Americans, but this is usually like on the lefty side. It's not that I wouldn't call them woke scolds per se, but I do think it's kind of like, I'm like, hey, bro, everybody knows what you're talking about. Everybody says American, like, you know, like there are bigger, you know, I definitely hate American exceptionalism. I think it's valid the way that Americans talk about like what's happening as if no one else matters in the world. I totally get that. But everybody knows what you fucking mean when you say American, because everybody else's nation has their own name for them. Panamanian, Canadian, Mexican. When people put USian in text, that's fucking weird. And if you want me to, everybody else gets a one name thing, and you want me to be like citizen of the United States of America, fuck you, dude. I'm saying American. It's too long. It's too long. Now, one thing I have changed is I don't call the United States America, because that's different. We are part of the Americas. We have South Americans and people, and they, you know, yada, 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 right? Now, the Gulf of Mexico changing to the Gulf of America. I wish I had saved the clip. In what Trump said, actually, you know what? We're just going to pull it up, right? I mean, we're streaming, so why wouldn't we just do that? Trump, listen to what he says carefully. And this is what I mean. Yeah, I'm not even kidding, man eater. They'll put USIAN, like US in all caps and IAN on text. USian. I'm like, why? Oh, because Americans aren't the only American. I'm like, that's stupid. That's dumb. You are losing your mind, boy. Do not like that. Little shit. Here, so Trump on renaming the Gulf. When I talk about Trump being a good con man, this is what I mean. He is he's good. He's good. He's good. And I'll tell you what to listen for. What's he doing? Come on. You want to be on the camera? Come on. Let me tell you this. Check this out.
We're going to be announcing a future date pretty soon. We're going.
Yeah, there's two. There's a corgi and an Australian Shepherd, and the corgi's an old man, probably doesn't want to fight, and then the other one's a puppy and wants to play. I mean, not fight, play.
Change because we do most of the work there, and it's ours. We're going to be.
Okay, so he says we do most of the work there. It's ours. No, it's not. It's fucking, it's a large body of water. like, what are you talking about? You can't own the ocean, you dumb fuck. It's not a lake or a river inside your fucking country. But listen to something else.
Changing the name.
This is what I mean about double speak here. Check this out.
Of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory.
You hear that?
Mexico's really in trouble.
You hear that? You hear that?
We're going to change because we do most of the work there, and it's ours. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf.
It covers a lot of territory. This is what I mean when I say that Trump doesn't know how to speak in any other way besides doublespeak. In one sense, he goes, it's ours. We use it the most, right? Which then speaks to his base, right? And then he goes, we're going to call it the Gulf of America, which covers a lot of territory. It's like he's saying, like, well, North America, South America, like why wouldn't it be called? And I'll be honest with you, when I didn't think of it, I'm like, yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Why not? Here's what I think. The American Ocean, yeah, for sure. Here's what I think. I think this is a distraction. This is a classic throw something in front of their face, right? Like red Christmas cups, like they do it to Republicans all the time. This is for us, right? This one is for us. If you listen to what he's saying, on one end, he's talking to his base, and on the other end, he is talking to his people. To everyone else. It's ours. We use it the most. It covers a lot of territory. It's like, and he's talking about like it covers the Americas, so why not call it? He's a fucking idiot. Here's a guess that I just popped into my head just now. I'd be willing to bet somebody pitched it as the Gulf of America because it's a Gulf for the Americas. And his mentally deficient ass was probably like, yeah, that's a good point. We do use it the most. And the person who had the idea was probably like, well, no, I meant like, no, yeah, no, I get it. It's beautiful. It's ours. That's not what I meant. And then now he's just fucking confused. You can't just change it like that. Who's telling him he can? He could do, well, yeah, sure he can. Yeah, he could. He really can. Because nobody else has to do that. You know what I mean? Nobody else has to listen to him. Drive there. Drive through 75. Appreciate it. Thank you for the follow. I think you can use the hard R. No, we do not use the hard R here. By the way, I think you just say R word. Hard R means something else. The R word is what Trump and the hard R is what Trump and Musk say often when the cameras are off. Haven't heard how he's going to lower. He's just going to do it. He's just going to do it. What do you mean? Also, are you not paying attention? You're worrying about grocery prices? He's going to rename the Gulf of Mexico. That's what you're supposed to be paying attention to.
Gulf of America. What a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. We have a massive deficit with Mexico, and we help Mexico a lot. They're essentially run by the cartels. And can't let that happen. Mexico's really in trouble, a lot of trouble. Very dangerous place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next president of the United States. I'm not gonna lie. We're not gonna watch these videos. It was 43 minutes. I didn't realize it, and I should have got clips out of it. But you guys get the point. What does the Panama Canal say about all this? The Panama Canal. Yes, Panama Canal. Do you have a statement for what's going on right now? Sorry. What does the president of Panama say about this? The administrator of the Panama Canal said Friday that the vital waterway will remain in Panamanian hands and open to commerce from all countries, rejecting claims by President-elect Donald Trump that the United States should take it over. In an interview with the Associated Press, Ricarte Vasquez, denied Trump's claim that China was controlling the canal's operations and said making exceptions to current rules concerning its operation would lead to chaos. He said Chinese companies operating in the ports on either end of the canal were part of a Hong Kong consortium that won a bidding process in 1997. He added that the U.S. and Taiwanese companies are operating other ports along the canal as well. Trump has gone so far as to suggest that the U.S. should take control of the canal, and he would not rule out military might to do so. Check this shit out. Do they have the video on here? He said that about Greenland too. Greenland. What did Greenland have to say about that?
Jeg synes, det er vigtigt at holde fast i, at det på den ene side er godt.
For people who, I know some people watch with this on the background, so I'll read it. I think it's important to keep in mind that it's good on the one hand. Wow, I'm not, wait.
At der er en stigende amerikansk interesse for, hvad der foregår.
That there's a growing interest from the American side in what is going on, also in the North Atlantic Ocean and in the Arctic.
Også i Nordatlanten, også i det arktiske område, fordi nogle af de spændinger, vi ser i andre dele.
Because some of the tensions we see in other parts of the world are starting to come to the Arctic as well, are starting to come to the Arctic area.
Af verden, ja, de begynder også at komme til det arktiske område. Så jeg som en meget, meget tæt allieret med USA.
So I, as a very close ally to the United States, think there's a reason to be pleased with the growing interest from the USA. She's tap dancing on here. She's like,
USA synes jeg, der er grund til at glæde sig over den stigende amerikanske interesse, men det bliver nødt til at foregå på en måde, der er
but it has to go off in a way that is respectful to the population of Greenland.
Respektfuld over for det grønlandske folk, og vi bliver nødt til at kunne samarbejde på den måde.
And we must cooperate in the same way we are used to, among other things in NATO and other international fora.
Vi plejer at gøre det blandt andet i NATO-sammenhæng og i andre internationale fora.
Yeah. Look. I'm no fucking Trumper, right? I don't think I have to fucking prove that. But I ain't no bitch either. And that shit was weak as fuck. That was a please, sir. Please don't hurt me, sir. You just let's just keep things the way they've always been. I love you. I love you. I would never. I didn't mean to raise my voice. I didn't. I'm not yelling. I'm so sorry. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't have to be this way. No. Shut up. Upside down, like, yeah, that's not the way to do it. That's the first time I've seen that. That is not the way to do it. But do you want to know how to do it? So that was Denmark. Panama said, go fuck yourself. Greenland said, I love you, but maybe can you, like, maybe not, please? Let's see what Canada. Now Canada is known for, what are they stereotypically known for? For being polite. They say thank you a lot. They say sorry a lot. Very polite people. And for that, the nation is kind of like, by the way, I've deployed with Canadian SF dudes before, and they don't fit the stereotype. I just want to say that, you know what I mean? to second guess any nation's special operations forces would be a mistake, I would say. But let's see what Canada has to say. The Quebecan premier.
In response to the tariffs threatened by U.S. President-elect Donald Trump.
The comments came after a meeting between the feds and Canadian premiers as they wrestle with a threat of 25% tariffs on goods going to the U.S.
So this is specifically about the tariffs, right? So when he talks about Canada being the 51st state, and then he calls Trudeau a governor and shit like that, he's trolling. He's being a fuckface. Like, he's being the fuckface that his voters love that he is. He's trolling, obviously. We're not talking. No one's going to try to take over Canada. Plus, we've already tried twice and we got our asses kicked twice. But what he's doing is he's doing his bullshit with regard to trying to force better trade with them by putting tariffs on them, and unless they give prices for certain things, right? So here's what one of the premiers has to say about that.
Yes, unless they shore up our borders.
Chrystia Freeland's going to...
What's up, Gearless? I just noticed you in here. What's up?
Put a list together. We're going to put our list together, and I'm sure the other provinces will as well.
The dead bug. The dead bug. Yes. You know what's funny is every time they put us in the dead bug, it seemed like a relief, right? Because I was so tired of being the front leaning rest. Then you get back in your bag, you put your hands up, you're like, oh, thank God. And that relief was very short lived. It's amazing how much it fucking sucks to just put your feet and arms in the air while you're on your back.
But we will go to the full extent, depending how far this goes. We will go to the extent of cutting off their energy.
Bitch, do you want power? That's what he said. Yeah, do you want power? You want tariffs on us? Okay, do you want electricity? I'll cut that bitch off. Say I won't.
Down to Michigan, going down to New York State, and over to Wisconsin. I don't want this to happen, but my number one job is to protect Ontario.
Ontario, not Quebec, my bad.
Ontarians and Canadians as a whole, since we're the largest province.
A number of premiers spoke out strongly in...
You heard that? You saw that, Greenland? Look, all right, Greenland, if you want to redo, just get a redo in, because that's how you do it, okay?
favor of a robust Canadian response to unjustified tariffs. Some premiers proactively identified products that their provinces produce and export to the United States, and which the U.S. relies on, and which should be considered as part of the Canadian response. This included some critical minerals and metals.
It's apparent that the Trump administration, genuinely the incoming Trump administration...
I hope to fucking everything that this happens. I hope. It wouldn't last long. He would have to fucking eat crow and reverse it, right? Because I don't want people getting hurt. But can you imagine our economy with certain metals that were required for industry, for power to go out, and then in the other states and have to like redirect power to bring power to those places? Like, it would cost the United States billions, if not trillions of dollars with regard to what Canada provides to us. Like, Trump is so fucking stupid. And the price of things that will just skyrocket if this went down like this, man.
Genuinely believes that tariffs are going to be a source of revenue by which they can float.
You're not wrong. Like, see what Canada did to us? Hey, fuck, you're not wrong.
Their budget. And I think that's, clearly started to dawn on premiers. And so now they're talking about how it actually works on their side of the border, on our side of the border. And in effect, you're starting to hear people say, well, if they impose tariffs and if we begin to retaliate, here's how it ought to break down in terms of interregional fairness. So we're starting to feel the effects already of Trump's tariffs well before they've been imposed.
Meanwhile, billionaire and close ally of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, posting on X that Trudeau is, quote, such an insufferable tool, won't be in power for much longer.
He wasn't wrong.
Musk was responding to a video posted of Trudeau in which the prime minister described Kamala Harris's U.S. presidential election loss as a setback for women's progress.
Meantime, Premier Doug Ford was also asked about...
I mean, he wasn't wrong. Trudeau actually resigned, so...
Trudeau's comments about the U.S. election and feminism.
They aren't helpful at all, and yes, it was...
Good night, man-eater. You're going to miss Pop the Balloon next.
Brought up in the... I'm not going to say who said what, but it was brought up a couple times, and in our meeting. It's not helpful at all. Donald Trump was elected democratically. If you like him or you don't like him, that's not our issue. We elect Canadians, and it was not helpful whatsoever. And I'm sure Prime Minister got that message loud and clear.
And we'll be hearing from the Premier again this morning. He's expected to speak at a government
so
building downtown Toronto.
You're not allowed to have opinions anymore? All right, but all right. I think we're good. Yeah. TikTok's probably going away. I mean, what do you want?
Our app is used by as many as 170
assessment by Congress and the president of that they would use that.
Fear that through TikTok, China could acquire Americans' private data or could push propaganda that would sow discord. It's a risk that TikTok's lawyer acknowledged to the 9 justices this morning.
That they would use that information over time to develop spies, to turn people, to blackmail people, people who a generation from now will be working in the FBI or the CIA or in the State Department. Is that not a realistic assessment by Congress and the President of the risks here?
Well, Your Honor, I'm not disputing the risks. I certainly acknowledge the risk, but I think there are lots of reasons, not just the one I just gave, but there are lots of reasons why that risk still can't justify the law.
Let's get the latest on what happened today with CNN Chief Supreme Court Analyst Joan Biskupik. Joan, it looks like the justices are not going to block this ban.
It does, but I've got a couple caveats. No, you could tell that they were with the federal government here in terms of the main motivation. But there are a couple questions. There are actually 3. First of all, is this a First Amendment infringement? And once you get past that, has the Congress passed a law that's narrowly tailored to kind of meet its compelling interest to override the First Amendment free speech interest? And then after that, what about timing? Because that did come up here. Could this possibly not take effect on January 19th, which is when it's scheduled to take effect, which of course is a day before President-elect Donald Trump comes in? First of all, on that exchange that you just listened to, there was so much concern about the potential for, Chinese espionage. At one point, the Chief Justice also said, so are we supposed to ignore the fact that
So nobody spies on my people but me. Nobody sells information and spies on people without warrants except for me. You think I give a fuck about anything China fucking takes from me? You want to sell my data? Oh, it's okay. Like I look, if anybody's gonna sell my data, I want it to be Elon Musk. Fuck Elon Musk and fuck Zuckerberg. I don't give a fuck about them, and I don't trust the fucking government with it. They have all my shit. They have all my shit. Like what changes with TikTok? I'm gonna tell you what changes with TikTok. The way the algorithm works is unlike the way any other algorithm works. That's why nothing else is being targeted. You want to talk about people being able to, and you know what? I'm glad this came up because I actually forgot to talk about this. With regard to this, with regard to TikTok going away, with regard to Meta changing its policies, with regard to Elon changing its policies, and Elon did this long before, right? But something fucking happened recently that really caused a shift in the way we talk about information on the internet. And that was our boy, St. Luigi Mangione. If you don't think that the people in power do not look at things like what happened during the summer of 2020, that they don't think about the French Revolution or the Haitian Revolution or the Spanish Revolution or the Peruvians, the Bolivians, if you don't think that they look at this and they are not sitting there aware of what happens when the people rise up and they are not quick to fucking cut that out, when Luigi Mangione did what he did, and and so many, not enough, but so many of the population said, "Fuck yeah, that's what you fucking get." That was a red flag to everybody in power. They don't give a fuck about Chinese influence. They give a fuck about influence that is going to be against their status quo, period, dot. That's what they want to be able to control. And TikTok, again, has an algorithm that is unique. It's not all algorithms are the same. Here on YouTube, not anybody could just blow up. There's a certain amount of work you got to put in, a certain amount of consistency you got to put in. There's some amount of, you got to be able to push out so much content per week. Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels. There's a certain level of gatekeeping to becoming a successful content creator. Not on TikTok. Not on TikTok. TikTok, one video can get 1 million views if it fucking hits the right spark, and you never have to post again. Like it doesn't prioritize people who put out a lot of content. It doesn't prioritize corporations. You know what I mean? Like I made a mistake one time, and I liked a video from who's the dude, late night, not late night, the Last Week with John Oliver. I liked the video one time. Man, if every motherfucking video that autoplayed afterwards was not John Oliver, I was like, oh my God. Dude, like, okay, I like John Oliver like sometimes, but why? Because they're part of a giant fucking network and they put in a ton of money. TikTok doesn't do that. You can't control TikTok's algorithm. And listen to this. This is important. And the average motherfucker can get out there and reach millions of people. They don't care about fucking China. They care about me. They care about you. They care about the motherfucker who says what Luigi Mangione did was a good thing. They're afraid of that motherfucker getting on there and it catching fire. Because they know, right? They told us this in Ants or Bug's Life, one of those two, that if we figure out that we outnumber them, that we can turn this whole motherfucker upside down. And every time that we get that little spark, that every time there's an inkling of an idea that maybe they're starting to get it, they fucking squash it. Just like they did multiple times. But I'm just saying recently with the 2020 protests and right now. They don't want us doing what they did to Plan the 6th. That's right. That's right. Because we know that those Jan 6 fucking idiots, that's fringe far right bullshit, right? That's fringe far right bullshit. That's not what's going to catch fire. What's going to catch fire is real populism. And let me tell you all something. We all here, myself and everybody in this chat, has been raised, if not by your families, maybe you were lucky enough to have cool ass families, but if not by families, by our public education, by our media, to look at socialism, communism as bad. We know that in video games and in movies and in literature, communism and Nazis, they're synonymous. I've even heard in the chat, just going through, I hear people they'll say things like, oh man, socialism is not like communism. Like, no, communism's not bad. We're lied to. Anything that puts the democratization of people ahead of government and state is something that they will want to squash way ahead every single time. Because no country is safe from revolution. No country is safe from revolution. And so it is not an accident that we have multiple platforms out there, not all of them American, that buy and sell our data, that have ideas that perpetuate quickly throughout the platform. but we are hyper focused. I had a buddy who's active duty, who shall remain nameless, tell me information they had, but he had to be very vague about it for X reasons that I'll keep to myself. Said that they received a briefing, and they go, this person tells me, hey man, I received the briefing and I don't know, I think this one might have some merit. They're even giving briefings to the military to be able to go, hey, China can do this and China can do that. They're afraid of the ideas that are able to be spread on TikTok because it is counter to the status quo of what this current system wants us to be in. TikTok, you don't stop. In TikTok, you don't stop. Ooh, doo, 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 doo. Damn, now it's stuck in my head. Red Scare 2.0, 100%. Revolution happens when the plank revolution happens when the plank wrong becomes a seesaw. That's it, man. That's dope. Did you make that up yourself? Is that a quote? I like that. Just trying to stop Robo from blowing up his street. Yes, the man keeping me down, DSP. Yeah, you know why? You know why I haven't made it? Because I'm right all the time, and they're scared. They need me to stay down. It doesn't have anything to do with me streaming once a month and me never putting on content. That's right. Oh, shit.
Ultimate Parent is, in fact, subject to doing intelligence work for the Chinese government because TikTok, while an American company, is owned ultimately by ByteDance, which is, headquartered in Beijing. So that was a real concern. But those two grounds that you just mentioned that Congress passed the law based on, the data collection for blackmail and other espionage, and the covert manipulation, it was that latter grounds that the justices were really suspicious about. Doesn't everyone know now that TikTok is owned by a Chinese parent company? Wouldn't they know that potentially that there could be some manipulation? So I think the justices might not agree with the government on the extent of the grounds here. So bottom line, it looks like this court is ready to rule against TikTok, but then finally timing. The question came up of whether there should be some postponement of the effect of the law taking place on January 19th, which is what Congress had dictated when it passed the law back in April. President-elect Donald Trump has said, put a pause on it. TikTok.
Wait, how am I going to get the name? What name did I get wrong? Was that me? You talking to me?
Has said, put a pause on it. And the justices started to ask about that. And the Solicitor General of the United States, currently the Biden
Backpage, they got worse than Backpage, especially when was that you who mentioned that? The fucking essay groups that they had up on there? Wow.
Administration Solicitor General said, no, if you're going to rule for us based on our national security grounds that it looked like they were ready to buy, there's no reason to say that would justify any kind of postponement here. But
that's a good point. Like if you're worried about them getting people's information, well, that's just gone. Millions on millions of Americans use this shit. Like, what's the point? You're worried about the 10-year-old who's gonna download the app for the first time in a year? Like, oh, TikTok.
There seemed to be some sentiment about should they act when we're in the middle of a transition between administrations, and what would the consequence be if they were to do it that way?
All right. It's time. It's time. Man, I'm so glad there's a way to bootleg UFC because I'm not gonna front. I like UFC. I like the sport of MMA. But I am so glad that the technology that we have nowadays will make it impossible for anybody to ever keep that shit from not being pirated. I will pirate the shit out of UFC every fucking time. All right, so I got to go to the Discord. Elite X1 dropped some, I think, was it Elite X1? There's a culture. Where did you drop the balloon pop shit? General chat, maybe? Yep, it sure was. Are these clips or is it the show? Oh, it's a show. They make all these men insecure for being rejected. Okay, here we go. All right. So we're already at 11:15. So we'll probably do one or two. Probably cut it out at probably in about 15, 20 minutes. We'll cut it out. But let me go ahead and put this over here. So we're done. It's time for brain rot. Sometimes I see people bounce out because they were here for the news and they don't really enjoy this sort of stuff. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. I understand. But just know it's time to deal with some bullshit. We like to get messy. Let's go.
All right, but before we bring the first single lady, I'd like to let everybody know, go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment below.
That's right.
And subscribe and comment below.
Like and subscribe to Left Face TV and comment below. Appreciate the shout out, host of this show. Let's see what we got here. Xavier TV, 252K subs. He don't need my shout out. He needs to shout me out.
All right, thank you very much. Fellas, let's give it up for our first single lady.
Is it me or does this sound suck? What's going on here?
Shout out to the Finest Game Show, man.
Oh, it's a react. The Finest Game Show. Let's go find the original thing. That was horrible. Xavier TV, that's you must be one hell of a content creator to have scuffed ass video like this and be at 252K. Oh, you sent me the real video in the DMs. Okay, bet. By the way, if anybody ever is out there like wanting to be a content creator, and that right there, I just want to let you know, like, this is not shade. This is proof right here that people they focus way too much on equipment. You know what I mean? Like making sure you have all the nicest shit. You don't need the nicest shit. You just got to have good content. And this guy, I don't know who he is, but if you got 250K and you're still going strong, you probably got good content to somebody, right? And his shit is scuffed as fuck. His camera shit, his fucking sound is shit, but people like him, so that's good. Let's see here. DM. Okay, boom. Pop the balloon finally. Oh, okay, I got you. All right, but either that or it's bots. I don't know. Maybe I feel like that's a lot for bots. Bots would probably give you like 10 or 15,000. I'd be like, yeah, but 250,000. I mean, actually, you know what? Now you got me curious. Let's see something.
Are y'all ready for a first single lady?
Nah, not bots. When you look at 250K subs and you're looking at 33,000, 58,000, 1 mil, 299,000, when you got that kind of ratio between, that's not bots. That's people watching your shit. You could always tell when it's bot following whenever you have like fucking crazy ass subs and you're getting like 1,000 views, 2,000 views. That means you bought your fucking subs and you're not getting the right things. But when these match, your shit's for real. So I don't know. Maybe go watch like Xavier TV. He's probably sounds like a thing. Matter of fact, here, I was about to steal your shit. Now I'm not gonna steal your shit, but I'm a sub. maybe it's cool. Let's see here.
Are y'all ready for a first?
Following today's.
Oh my god! Oh my god! You are too loud. There we go.
Or find love. Beside me are a single man. Can y'all do that for me?
Okay.
I actually own multiple LLCs.
These people.
Oh my lord!
One of them is a financial literacy company, and my other one is a digital marketing company, and I also own a salon, and I'm also a single mom.
Okay. All right, love it. All right, so what is your ideal man?
Probably someone who understands my schedule and is flexible. Someone who's like able to go to the club with me, VIP with me.
Is this first one boring? Is that why you're saying that? 35-30? Okay, yeah, but let's catch it from the beginning though. Oh, so it starts getting wild at 35-30, but I want to see when she walks in. Damn, she was on there a minute. Here we go.
All right here. All right, can you introduce yourself, your name, age, and occupation?
My name is Ty Janae, and I'm 30 years old, and I'm a tattoo artist.
All right, so Ty
Free
Janae,
tattoos?
what are your deal
Yes.
My deal breakers is not having a good sense of humor because I like to laugh a lot. I
And
like
she's
to have
purdy?
fun, so that's really like the biggest deal breaker for me.
Okay, and what do you look for in a man?
Someone fun that is understanding and likes to have a good time. You know.
Okay, and now, in the time that you're in right now, are you looking for something?
That's a
really
good point.
serious?
That's a good point.
Are you looking to just build to see where it goes to, or what are you looking for right now?
To be honest, what I'm looking for is someone that I feel like can protect me, but I feel like having a really good relationship with someone is hard to find. So I really just go with the flow. And if I feel like it can go somewhere serious, then that's when I'll take you serious. Like when you show me effort, then that's when we could go serious.
Why would you have to do all that? Why'd you have to look? You saw his face? Hold on.
Okay.
Look at his face.
Okay.
But did you need to do all that? Was it because she said she wanted something serious?
If I feel like it can go somewhere serious, then
Oh, okay. So here. All right, so check this out. Let me tell you. Hey, see, this is why I wish I had more women followers. I wish I had more women because I want to be able to say. I'm not gonna say anything that y'all don't know, right? Because I mean, you already speak, dude. But I'm gonna say it anyway. They want to be able to control from the get. Okay, they want to be able to to lock somebody down from the get. Because when you get these kind of people that are like, oh, I'm not looking for anything right now, they only know how to translate that in the way because what they mean. When they tell somebody, when a dude tells a girl, I'm not ready to settle down just yet, he's saying, I'm still trying to fuck everything that moves. And so I'm down to date you for a while if you're okay with me fucking other people. That's what he means. But that might not be what she means. She just means, hey, I'm not trying to move in or get married or have kids like right now. I'm still just out there doing my thing. But because they're going to interpret that as I just want to fuck everybody, they're going to pop their balloons. That's what that is. And the only reason why I'm so confident in that is by his face. Like, he's like, nah, fuck that shit, right?
And I'll take you serious. Like when you show me effort, then that's when we could go serious.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we have 2 balloons that popped. Let's go and figure out why they popped.
Let's find out why.
Okay, 3. All right. Can you introduce yourself, name, age, occupation, and why you popped your balloon?
100%. That's been me, right? I that's why I like talking about this stuff so much, is because that has 100% been who I've been in my life. And now that I'm past that, I want to be able to call out that behavior. That way we make our sons better, and we let our sisters out there know what to look out for and what's not normal. They don't have to put up with that shit.
Hi, I'm Jose. I'm 32 years old. I'm a truck driver. Honestly, I'm just not feeling the attraction off rip. It's nothing wrong with
that
you.
ain't nothing wrong with that.
I love your career. I think it's fire. I think all that's cool. I just don't feel a spark. You know what I mean? I think you're very gorgeous. Don't get me wrong.
Thank you very much. You don't like my tattoos?
No, I think it's all as heat. I'm tatted too. Underneath, you can't tell, but I'm tatted underneath too. Leg, chest, all that. But
if you can't tell, what is she supposed to see through your clothes, fool? Nah, but the other side of that coin too. Yeah. I sometimes you hear me say like, and it don't matter. It happens both ways. Yada yada yada. It's just yes, you're right. It could happen the other way, but I don't fuck with dudes, so I don't care what girls do or don't do. You know what I'm saying?
It just ain't my speed. That's
So we could be good friends, but
yeah, you get me a client, you play your cards right.
Yeah,
you
we
can
can
tap
be
my
good
whole
friends.
body up like Wiz, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Okay. All right. Love it. Let's go ahead and move forward. All right.
You're right though. That's a good point. That's a good point. You really anybody that's out there, you got to be able to read, right? And so there's a lot of times when you talk in generalizations and stuff, but really anybody that's out there trying to play games, you got to be able to read. Because sometimes it's somebody who's like for instance, me. Like if Maneater, God forbid, got tired of my shit and was like, I'm out. I'm probably gonna be like, if I ever get back on the dating scene, it's gonna be like, I need to chill. I want to just like, I'm not going to just jump into another thing. I'm still healing, yada, yada, yada. Right. And I think the way that I present that to somebody is it's going to be clear that I'm not just trying to fuck everybody else. It's going to be like, okay, I want to just chill for a little bit. And sometimes, if we got a girl that like you, Devontae, maybe had the same sort of experience, but, from men, assuming they're straight, it's like, maybe they're gonna think I'm fucking around, right? So you just got to be able to be honest and be direct with people and just not try to read your own bullshit into them.
All right. Name, age, occupation, and why you popped your balloon.
My name is Kenny. I'm 25 years, and I'm an artist. And the reason why I popped the balloon is because 25 years, and I'm an artist. And the reason why I popped the balloon is.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh shit. Hold on. See, every time I want to watch something else, I always come back to this show. This might be my favorite brain rot ever. Y'all gonna have to come up with something real good to pull me on brain rot, because this shit right here. She better pop his balloon. Oh man, that shit's funny.
Because first and foremost, she's not my type of girl. I like my girl a little bit taller.
Oh, he already popped the balloon, but still, she's like,
And a little bit more cordial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a shorty. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you look beautiful. You look good. You look perfect. But this for my type, my preference. That's what I like. It's just not matching up to what I like.
Okay.
That's the reason why I put my balloon.
Okay. How does that make you feel? Do you have any remarks?
To be honest, I like my men 6'5" and 200 pounds and up, so it's cool.
I feel like Tash was a little bit hurt because she didn't made up to my expectations, which I gave out to her.
Why does he talk like he's out of breath?
And
she says 6'5". Yeah. 6'5", 200 pounds. I feel like 6'5", 200 is kind of skinny though. I bet you he's 200 pounds. Like if you're 6'5", 200, you're lithe. You're lithe. You're athletic. You're not a big dude.
I had to, put it back on me to feel like I didn't meet up to her expectations. So that's how I feel like it. I always feel like that's not something I would want to start with somebody I want to be in a relationship or something with,
Oh, I think that's an accent. That's what that is. 6'3", 190 is, yeah, see? And I know you're a thin dude, yeah. 6'5", does she even know how big 6'5" is? No. Nobody ever does. I don't even think dudes know what 6'5" is. Dudes don't even know what 6 foot is. You know how many times I tell people I'm 5'11" and I'm told I'm lying? Like, nah, you're not. You're like at least 6 foot, 6'1", 6. I'm like, no, man. You're just lied to. You're being told the truth by somebody, and everybody else just lies. Trust me. 5'11" is not short. It's regular heighted. It's above regular heighted. And people swear I'm like 6'1", and I'm like, no, man. Everybody else is just lying to you. And you know when I really figured that out? When my son stopped growing. My son is 6'2", and I look up to my son. My son, I'm like, hey, what's that? Hey, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth when you talk to me. But let me tell you something. When, you know, because I'm there, my son gets, you know, goes to the doctor and shit like that, you know, gets physicals for soccer. I'm like, he comes in, gets measured at the doctor's. He's 6'2". And I'm like, man, I got so many friends that told me they're 6'2", and they sure as fuck are not 6'2". I mean, almost eye to eye with these people. I'm like, yeah.
So he don't meet.
He don't meet my requirements either.
I'm 6'5". What do you mean 200 pounds? What do you mean by that?
I told you. I believe him 100%. I don't know about the height, but 100% I know he's 200 pounds. Because you cannot be that tall, 200 pounds. Like, I'm 5'11", I was 215. And I'm like, I'm already kind of lithe. I'm already kind of athletic. I like to be around 225, 230. I'm like 280 right now, right? Because I'm fat. But like, I like to be thick, right? Like, I like to be like strong. So like, that's 230. If I'm 6 more inches and 30 less pounds, you're a thin dude.
You 200 pounds and up?
What are you saying?
Okay, I like 225. That's
There you go. Yeah, because you don't know.
She said she looking for a guy that's 6'5". But I'm like, bro, I'm 6'5". I'm 200 pounds. She said she want a guy with 200 pounds and 6'5". I'm like, okay, it's cool. That's me. And as soon as I said that, she said she looking for a guy at 225. I'm like, how? Like, how, Brody? How? Be good. Be good.
All right, now, apart from that, do you find him attractive? Is he?
I mean, you're a handsome guy. I can't see your face or your eyes, and I need to see people's eyes in order to figure out you're all right. You're all right.
Good? Good for you?
You're all right. You're all right.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and move forward as well. All right. Your name, age, occupation, and why you popped your balloon?
More 27. I popped it because I'm just not really attracted to you. I do like everything about you though, like the glitter, the dress, the shoes, the tattoos, the hair. You look really pretty. It's just not for me.
That's fine.
That's about it.
But you like light skinned girls?
I find the beauty in every like skin color.
Okay.
I just don't see it like here.
Okay, just wanted to ask.
Now, is he also your type?
No.
Does she think she's dark? Does she have the nerve to call herself dark standing next to him? Because she was looking for something. That's what she was doing. Oh, you must like light-skinned girls. Ma'am, you're light-skinned. Like, what are you talking about? She's trying to make him like feel dirty for not finding her attractive. Yeah, she's hurt.
Why isn't he your type?
He's tall. He's handsome. I like the tattoos. I like the swag. But
right next to the host too.
I love dreadheads. I love big, masculine-looking men. Like I like rough-looking men. Like, Well, to elaborate, I just feel like physique-wise, like I'm a fun-sized girl, but like I feel like we look really good with like men that are big and tall and strong, and I just feel like he isn't. She
identifies as dark.
Tall, don't get me wrong, but he's not like physically fit. He don't look like he could slap a nigga out in one little hit. I like.
She's toxic. Everybody needs to pop her balloon. She's toxic. This is the kind of woman that'll get you killed going out. You will die dating her because she will expect you to stomp somebody out because somebody accidentally bumped into her. 100%. And then you're laying on the ground because you just got stabbed in the neck because you didn't know how to walk away from a fight because she wanted you to fight. Hell no. That's a pop balloon right there.
I like them hood looking men.
Okay. You said a hood looking man?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I just like a really rough looking man that look like he could protect
Yeah, dead or in cuffs, 100%.
me. Like, I like a strong looking guy, like somebody when I'm walking next to, because I know that I get a lot of compliments when I'm out with people, and I just need a man that I know is like.
I can respect that though. The hood look, I can respect that. I know what she means. And I've gotten that before. I don't ever feel offended by that. There's a certain vibe that I know she's talking about that I don't think you got to be a shit dude to run that style. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like it's just like let's say like New York or East Coast in general, for example. There are girls who like dudes with chains and Timbs and shit like that. That don't mean you got to be a gangbanger. You know what I mean? That don't mean you have to be like a piece of shit. It's just like somebody who presents that way. And I respect that. I don't present that way. Sometimes I do present that way because of my size and my tats. And then when they find out I'm not that guy, then they lose interest. And I never get hurt by that. I understand. I get it. I was like, yeah, that's not me. You know, that's cool. We all have our types.
Secure with himself and can handle me. Like,
Okay. All right. Any remarks to that?
Not really. I mean, like, I can only protect you from so much. Like, if a gun pop out, then it's just like, what am
I mean, we
do?
both better be running if a gun comes, but I'm just saying, like.
I mean, no, she cool. No,
Okay. All right. Let's come back. Let's come back. Okay. So we still do have 2 balloons on Pops. And so in this situation, we'd love for you to have.
Neither one of you guys are tall enough. First of all, this guy is. Okay, so check this shit out. This guy's tall enough, but he dresses like he's from Miami. Not even like, but not from the hood. I don't know. This guy dresses like he was raised in Canada. He was Drake's neighbor. This guy.
A question, right? So if you have any question, you can present the question.
2005.
And we'll go down, get some answers from them, and based on their answer, we'll eliminate one person. All right?
No problem.
All right.
What is your stance on commitment?
What is your stance?
Bro, he's shorter than you right now with your heels on. Why are you asking him questions? Like, why didn't you pop your balloon when she said she needed somebody 6'5", 225? I was like, yep, not me. Click.
It's on commitment.
That's one of my main things, commitment. Because my type is you, pretty much. Fit, feminine, friendly. But the last part of that is loyal. So commitment is all about loyalty. And if you're into commitment, that's me 100%.
Why does it? Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Look at this dude. He's like, say something. Say something. Say something. I'll Dana White you right now. He look mad. I think what he's doing, he's trying to put out tough is what he's trying to do. He's trying to put out hood, but like, bro, you look like you know what I never understand? I never understand why people ask stupid ass questions like that. Like, why would you ask something like that? What is your stance on commitment? I love cheating. I love cheating and calling women bitches. The minute you feel safe, I'ma fuck your sister if I could. Why would you ask? Like, what are they gonna say? What do you think? I hold all day, every day. If you choose me, I will hurt you. Your mom better not be bad, because I'm gonna try to slide in her DMs. I was hoping you wouldn't ask me that, because whenever somebody asks me, I tell them the truth exactly.
Okay. I like his answer.
Okay. All right. Let's move forward.
I enjoy being in a committed relationship. I feel like it's the best way to build, grow old with somebody. Knowing that you have someone there for you in times of needs, I think is very, very special. And, you know, just being able to show up for that person. I think when you are in the streets for so long, it's boring. You know, it's different when you're actually waking up to someone that you love, you know. So I'm big on commitment.
Okay. Well, for one, I like your smile. That's the first thing I would like to say.
Thank you.
I like his answer. That's the second thing I would like to say.
But I'm a pop. I'm a pop. I'm a pop. Watch pop.
I'm loving this, but let's come back here. Let's come back. Now, based on both of their answers, you get.
So if I had to guess, this show's kind of fucked me up before. If I had to guess, she's gonna pick the light skinned dude because he's short. But I don't know. I feel like the light skinned dude has the vibe she wants, but the dude in the pink shirt has the height and the physique that she wants. I don't fucking know which way she's gonna go.
To pop one balloon, all right? Can I get your pen, please? Yes, sir.
Can I ask them one more question before I pop?
Okay.
Because I feel like they both had a good answer.
All right. Okay. One more. All right.
Okay. How long have you been single?
How long have you been single?
That's a good question. My ex, I think we broke up right after the pandemic, so it's been over a year now, year and some change.
About a year. Okay. And for you?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
That'll help. You gotta have to have another question.
All right. So now you have to pop one balloon.
Based
on both. Yeah, you have to pop one more balloon.
Wait, what? What? Do I have to? Can I just pick both?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pop.
All right, and give a reason why you popped this balloon.
Height.
I popped his balloon because I feel like a year and a half is not that long of.
He said the
things, you
same
know,
thing. He said
growing up,
about a
to be
year.
honest. I feel like you need more time to be by yourself. You know, you might still think about this girl.
Oh, dudes that said the same thing though. But you know what that means? You know what that tells me? So she was able to be mean to the other ones when she was hurt. She kind of likes this dude, so she doesn't want to be mean. So it's about the hype, but she's gonna say the thing that applies to the other guy. But I've seen this before. She might pop the other dude.
Miss this girl, which is okay, but like, you know, I would be a rebound in that sense.
Because dude in the red shirt, single a short amount of time. So I think she was just trying to be nice. But,
There you go. There you go.
You know, females, so what can I do?
I personally feel like it takes a long time to heal from a relationship, and I would have popped both of my last two contestants if I had the option to, but I popped Luke's because his was the first option. But I feel like a year and a half is not that much time. I could just tell in his face when I said it that he wasn't over his ex-girlfriend, that he still may have lingering feelings. So he understands
That's
what
fair.
I'm saying.
That's
In
fair.
my opinion, I feel like Taj wasn't genuine. This is proof that hypergamy is real. She upgraded. She wanted a better man.
Oh no. Oh no, my guy. My brother in Christ. She dodged the bullet. That's what she did. She dodged the bullet. You gotta be fucking kidding me. This bitch said hypergamy is real. She upgraded. She chose the alpha male. And me as the sigma male got rejected. So now that's why I hate women. You fucking idiot. Man. This is why. Some people are just naturally intuitive. She read that motherfucker and she popped him. That was good. Goddamn, she dodged the bullet.
The guy that's also in tech but make more money. That's what really happened. But she gonna say what she said. That's, you know, that's females. That's how they are. It is what it is. Respect that.
Okay.
He said, I respect that. He goes to that whole thing and he goes, I respect that.
All right. So we have one balloon.
Hurry up to the
on.
next girl. Oh, this wasn't it. When I went to that thing, I saw her, so I went to the beginning. All right, well, this is the last one. This is the last one. She doing? What you doing to me? YouTube? Oh, my Lord. Wow. Look at I feel so bad for tall women. I do. I'm not even kidding. Tall women have it rough. They really do. I feel like to be a woman this tall, you have to be somebody's fetish. And that's not cool either. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not cool. You don't want to be someone's fetish. You just want to be appreciated for you. You come out there like that. When you got your man looking at you like that, you want him to just enjoy you. You know what I'm saying? She has to be. She needs, I'll go back, Elite. She has to be over 7 feet. There's no way she's not over 7 feet. That's wild. I would have popped when no. Maybe I wouldn't though, because that would be, like, if I'm single and I'm up there, I mean, I don't gotta marry her. Wait, that might be, nah, I wouldn't have popped. Hold on, let's go back. Nah, she's over. She gotta be over. Look at that. She's, this guy said he's 6'5". She's a full head over this dude. Yeah, nah. The longer I look, the more I'm like, okay. I can tell. Okay, here we go. What the fuck?
Oh, all right. We love the energy. We love the energy. Seems like they are indeed ready. I hope you are. But before we bring out the next single woman, we'd love for you to like, comment, and also go ahead and subscribe to this channel. All right?
That's right.
Let's give it up for our next single.
If there's anybody lurking out there, like, comment, do your thing. You know, you heard him. He's talking about me.
A woman.
Oh, wow.
He said, "Oh wow."
All right. Okay. All right. Can you please introduce yourself?
Oh,
name,
she's pretty
age,
too.
occupation?
I'm Malaysia. I'm 29, and I am a bartender and a model.
Okay. All right. So, Malaysia, what is
He can't talk without laughing. she's good looking.
your type?
You better not say tall.
Dress, polite, generous.
Okay. And I would like to also know, what are your deal breakers, non-negotiables?
Cheap.
Okay.
Not polite.
Look, it's okay. Listen, you can be 7'5" and shaped like a Coke bottle and pretty as hell, but you cannot be that and talk to me sounding like Barry White. You got to do something about that. You know, you gotta realize where you're at.
Body odor, stink, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. All the menus seem to still be on. Okay. So we got 2 balloons that pop. Let's go ahead and figure out why they popped the balloon. All right. Okay. Let's move forward. Okay. All right.
Man, I feel bad if she gets home with a short dude. Gonna be like, oh yeah, short king confidence. Like, no, he's an alpha male. Don't do it.
So we can start from here. All right. Can you introduce yourself, name, age, occupation, and why you popped the balloon?
Name is Sadie, 34, work in cybersecurity. She's gorgeous. She's just way too tall for me. And I'm not sure if I can carry you. No, you do look good.
He did it. Good.
It's a deal breaker.
Sometimes black women have deep voices, so sorry, not cool. I mean, all kinds of people have deep voices. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a black woman thing. She bad otherwise. I just don't like deep voices. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like Miley Cyrus. Like, I don't like that deep raspy thing. It's not my thing.
Wait, you said you're not sure if you can carry her?
Yeah, because she's tall.
Okay. All right. I think you can carry her.
I don't deadlift. I bench, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to carry her.
Okay.
I don't deadlift. I bench.
He's not confident within himself, so I mean, he seems.
What she said right there kind of like made me think too. There was a comedian that I watched, and she's this girl with this lady with scoliosis or some shit, where she like can't she shakes and can't stand up straight. Funny as fucking hell. But she was doing a thing about how awesome it is to. She's like, I like it. I like dating like this because it's like it's an automatic filter. If anybody's willing to take you seriously and treat you respectfully, it's like, if you're a douchebag just looking to fuck, you probably are not gonna go through the motions, right? So same thing with her. Like if you are actually secretly insecure, but you can fake the funk, you're not gonna be able to fake the funk with her. You know what I mean? Like, she walks in, you're either into it or you're not. And somebody who's gonna sit there and talk about her being to this and to that, you know what I mean, is gonna be like, cool. Yeah, like the way that I present the way that I am is gonna out certain types of dudes out the gate. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Is he your type?
No.
Oh.
No. I do love his skin color. I just don't like the way he's dressed. He's look kind of older. So, I don't know. I like a cute face.
You like a cute face?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by a cute face?
She means like a pretty boy. Like, he looks too masculine. Like, she likes dudes who do their eyebrows and shit like that. I feel her. I get you.
What do you mean by a cute face? Like,
Teddy has beautiful teeth, but
oh, she's not bad. I'm sorry, dude. No. She had a nice profile. I thought she was pretty. Disregard.
His face was giving he'd been through a lot.
I'm sure she's beautiful inside. I'm just like sharing my thoughts about like my taste. That's all.
very older, wiser man. Like, you know, he's
I need to know
been
how
through a
tall
lot
she
of
is.
Years in his life.
I mean, I was definitely very disappointed. I consider myself medium ugly, so I think I do pass the test when it comes to the scale of,
He
rating.
said
So,
medium ugly.
it is what it is. I think because she's too tall, I think maybe she took that very personal. But I think, of course, she's beautiful, but I consider myself medium ugly.
He's not cute.
No.
Why did this dude's trying not to laugh the whole time?
Well, I mean, she's gorgeous. She's just
Nice teeth. I love your
Thank you,
teeth.
thank you. I do
Amazing.
love your nose piercings.
Thank
I think,
you,
Again,
thank
I love your tattoos. You are gorgeous.
you.
Like, I love your energy, your passion. Just the height for me.
Yeah.
I have to
A lot
know
of guys is
how.
Insecure, so I understand.
Okay. Calm down. See, I had her back, but then you just got to go too extra. Some people just, it's not always that, you know what I'm saying? Some people, it's okay to not like somebody. It's okay to like have different tastes. I'm a lot of women of women are not into, big Hispanic guys with tattoos. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would that hurt my feelings? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of women who are my taste. That's okay. You're allowed to have taste. But when somebody goes, oh, that's not really for me, like, oh, okay, that's okay. It just means you're a little bitch anyway. You probably gotta get that, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
All right. I mean,
Does she really?
Also, I would like to know, would you mind dating a guy that's shorter than you?
It's no problem for me.
Of course it's not. Of course it's not, ma'am. You would have like 2% of the population to be able to date.
Okay. All right. Love it. So let's go down and figure out why he popped his balloon as well. All right. Name,
He backs up.
occupation, and why he popped your balloon.
I'm more 27. I bought it because I'm just not attracted to you.
Yeah.
You look really pretty though. I just didn't find her attractive. She's pretty.
I don't know what that means. Why do dudes have to qualify? I'm not attracted to you, but you're pretty. I'm not attracted to you, but you're handsome. Like what? No, then I'm not to you. What are you talking about?
But just not for me. Like I like everything about it, like the height, the tattoos, everything looked good. Just not my type.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm just not attracted. That's about it.
Okay.
All right. You have any remarks? What do you think about him? Is he your type? You like him?
I don't know if he's attracted to women. I mean.
Oh, see,
the way he
see.
looks, I want it.
See, okay, but think about it. All right, check this out. All right, check it out. Listen, Linda, listen. This is what happens when I'm gonna be on her side here for a second. I got her. All right, listen to me. This is what happens when you live a life of bullying and people talking shit to you. Sometimes you learn to be funny like Kevin Hart. Right? Sometimes you just learn to be mean. And if you don't want me because I'm too tall, then you probably are insecure. If you don't like me because I'm too thick, then your thing's too little. If you don't think I'm attractive, then you must be gay. I'm pretty sure you're gay. Like, I feel like I want to be able to, like, I wish I was her therapist to be like, hey, you don't have to murder everybody who you're not their type. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, why don't you think that he's attracted to women?
He's giving me flamboyant in the way he present him.
He's attracted.
Homie, you're not helping with that right there. Not that there be anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, what are you doing? Stand up.
Wait, why don't you think that he's attracted to women?
He's giving me flamboyant.
He's giving me homophobic.
He present himself so. I'm sorry, no disrespect, but
I get it a lot. It's whatever. People think I'm gay for whatever reason. I don't know. I take it as a compliment because when I think of gay people, when I see them, they look like they take care of themselves. So, and some people don't. So when I hear that, it's kind of like a compliment. So it doesn't really bother me.
Well, it's just all the jewelries and pearls, the hair color. He's into hair dye. I mean, it's giving soft boy era. It wasn't my speed. I love a man. Like, I like somebody that's,
So if you're not a manly man, you're gay. Some people are just, man, stuck.
Yeah. Then he's light skinned.
You get it a
when
lot?
I look at people like you, that's what I see.
Oh, so like a lot of people think that you're homosexual?
My my thing is I like pearls, so I wear it a lot, and I can probably like give off a different vibe. So I mean,
I
but,
didn't even notice that. Yeah, I mean, hey, he owns it.
I mean, it is what it is.
Okay. All right, but can you clarify that? You're straight?
I'm not. Yeah, I'm straight. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good to clarify that. We want to make sure, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay, that's unfortunate that, it wasn't pairing, but we'll go back. You said what?
She look good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's move back and figure out
Okay.
if these two other balloons could possibly be a match. All right. So now, this is a time for you to further get to know the guys. They already know a few things about you. So, can you please give us a question, and then we'll get an answer
But
based
any
on
one of them?
What's that called? Is that reverse colorism?
No. So you're gonna give us a question, and based on their answers, you're gonna go ahead and eliminate one of these people, right?
Do y'all mind dating a taller girl?
What a stupid question. What are these people doing? They didn't pop their balloon, ma'am. Clearly. Well, these are the dumbest questions.
It's not the first time I dated a tall girl. It's no problem with me whatsoever. You ain't got to worry about that.
All right.
Hello, my name is Kenny, and I love it.
You love it.
Yeah,
you love
for
dating
sure.
a taller woman.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I love. Okay. All right, let's come back. Okay. All right. So, I mean, what do you think about their answers?
I mean, it was cute and
Like
quick.
it? Okay. You have another question?
Do
She's gonna pick the taller dude. Man, I don't know. So, I always get it wrong because like this dude seems more like stereotypically masculine, but this guy has ripped jeans and jewelry and shit. So I don't know. I don't know.
do y'all have any
I
children?
I can't get into the mind of a homophobic woman. Oh yeah, that's right. He's light skinned too. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's gonna get picked. That's the one right
I mean,
there.
they're all passing. We need a harder question here, right? You letting them off the hook too quick.
Okay,
any other questions?
Oh, the tattoo artist didn't get that.
I'm a bartender. I stay on my feet long nights.
Huh?
I like to get rubbed down for hours. Do you mind doing that?
Hell no,
For
that
me,
would have popped my balloon right there, man. Hell no. Let me tell you something. I hate that shit. I don't know why, but I was like for a little bit, boom, boom. I like whatever, but like hours, man, my hands are getting tired. Fuck all that shit.
Ankles get swollen. My back hurt. I'm a big girl. Do you mind rubbing me down for hours without having an attitude or being upset?
I see you.
Yeah, see, be honest. Thank you. Fuck that shit.
Okay, so why'd you pop your balloon? And
That's
you
not
know,
fun.
you have something to gain?
I'll rub your back to be nice. I'll rub your back to be like for foreplay. Like, okay, yeah. Hours? That's work. I work. I'm not trying to come home and rub anybody down for hours. That's wild.
Is rubbing a woman down.
First of all, let me make this clear. I would love to rub you down all the time, but it's not the place for that. The bartender star tender thing, been there, done that. Again, it's setting up phase of my life. You know, your career choice. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I think you're gorgeous. I love the height. I love all. It just ain't for me, honestly, right now.
He looked like.
I'm pretty sure like he's gay or something. I don't watch. She's gonna say something. She's gonna say something out of pocket. Watch.
My customers who come at my bars. So I'm kind of confused. And I said it in the beginning that I was a bartender and he let it slide. But then when I asked about the rubbing, he popped the balloon at the rubbing, like me getting rubbed down when I said that I work long hours. So I was kind of confused once again, light skin, flamboyant. So it was kind of like
I said it. I said it. See, yeah. If you don't like me, then you must be gay. She said it. What is wrong with this lady?
When you said the star tender thing, and I let you finish your thing, I didn't want to be rude and pop you mid-sentence. I wanted to wait. till you finish. That's all. I didn't want to be rude and interrupt you mid-sentence. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's go down. Have one. Can you go ahead and also answer her question? We're rubbing her down.
Okay, so
Ask her this
okay,
question.
Yeah. I mean, so when it comes to giving her massages and whatever she wants, I mean, I would appreciate doing that. This is what I like to do myself. But when it comes to the occupation, the career, the job, I don't really like that because I've been like, them type of girls. I could take them as friends, but like not like a serious relationship.
For sure. How do you feel about that? Would you like your man to make sure to?
The way he... See, I'm toxic. I there's a lot of things that I think I still got to work on, because the fact how much he has to look up to talk to her is just makes me giggle, and that's fucked up. I don't know why.
Love your occupation.
He don't have to love it. He has to know that I went to school for mixology, so.
So I was gonna ask, what actually do you do? You said bartender. Like, what's the bartender? There's like different varieties of bartenders, depending on the type of the club.
Okay, so what's the type? What is the type that you know of?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna say all type of different types.
He's saying, where do you bartend? It's not that complicated.
Okay, so he's asking, what type of bartender are you?
So I currently run a bar in Brooklyn. It's called Jigger Jerk Spot. I am the bar manager and I have bartenders.
Oh, okay.
So it's a part of a restaurant, and I am
For
promoting it
real,
crazy.
bro. I had to edit like 3 of Ernie's videos. I've been sitting in this chair all day. My back hurts. You get it? See, you get it.
We go onto radio stations, and also I do once in a blue work in the strip clubs and suite and bartend there and different things like that. But yeah, and I do big parties as well.
Okay. All right. How you feel about that?
So good.
Okay. All right. So can you come back? Can you come back here? All right. Can y'all two lovebirds come back here? Let's figure out if this could be a match. All right. It's a possible match that we have here. We'll give you an opportunity.
He's not feeling
to
it.
Ask her a question. You have.
He's not feeling it.
Last minute questions.
Okay. So I want to ask you, are you God-fearing?
Oh yeah, I was raised in a church.
Okay, and I was gonna ask if you're family oriented.
Yes. I have. Well, if you know, Christian family is judgmental. They don't appreciate, me being a bartender, but they accept it. And I do talk to my mom and dad every day.
Ma'am, it's not the bartending, and you're not stepping off on the right foot here. We're not starting with honesty.
My siblings is far away. I don't really get to talk to them. They're married. They got their own stuff going on. So I'm the baby. But when I do need to clock in with the family, they're right there, a phone call away.
Okay. All right. It seems like you loving everything that you're hearing, right?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any questions for him?
I want to know your sign.
My sign.
I'll never understand when people ask, when they'll be like, are you a person of God? And then talking about like signs. I'm like, the church doesn't like that shit, right?
Taurus.
Taurus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. What do you like about Taurus? It seems like you like Taurus.
I mean, I'm an Aries, so we're like right there.
Okay. All right. You have a last minute question?
Yeah, I was gonna ask age. I didn't hear her age the last time.
I said I was 29.
29. All right, cool.
Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 25.
Do you mind giving a man, that is interested in you, a chance, although he's younger than you?
It depends on what he has to bring. Do you have your own car? Do you have your own apartment? Yes. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I don't think he's feeling it. I think he wants a win. I think he wants to okay, I got one. And we talked about the fetishism. I think he wants to see her without that dress on, right? And he's like, yeah, I do. Let's go. Let's get this over with.
All right, so is this a match?
One more question.
Okay.
See, he wants a way out.
What's the question here?
I forgot. I'm cool.
Okay. All right. So this.
Nah, if I was her, I would have popped right there. I would have popped. Just staring at them big old titties. Yeah, for real.
All right, so we have our second match. All right, you can go ahead and take your queen away.
You notice she put her hand out? Yeah, come here. Bring your ass over here, little guy. Come here, little guy. Come with me.
All right, so we have our second match here. How y'all feeling? Y'all excited?
I'm super excited.
I'm feeling great. I got
Okay.
the one.
Okay, all right, so I'd like to know.
You see, I won. This was a game. He didn't want to be left there without having anybody pick him or something. So like, I'm gonna win, and I'm gonna see what these titties do.
What is your favorite thing about him?
Just the man.
Wait,
Like,
where's the
just
where's the update? Like at the end of the video or something, or another video? Because we're done after this.
Tall and he gives a good vibe. I like it.
Okay. All right, so she mentioned that she wants somebody that's confident.
Yeah.
Are you confident enough for her?
For sure.
All right. I mean, she also said that she likes being carried up.
Oh yeah.
Would you be able to carry her?
100%.
All right, now you gotta show me. You gotta show me.
Husbands, love your wives.
Who's your favorite couple? Vote now in the comments.
Not everything always goes to plan. Following her match, we spoke with Malaysia, and this is what she had to say.
At first, I thought,
How is there an update if you were in the same clothing? I guess we're about to find out. Maybe it'll make sense after I hear.
everything was sweet, everything was good, but then I don't want to be mean, but he hugged me and there was a little older. What I said I did not want. So that was a red flag. And the closer that I got to him, I seen his jewelry was kind of like fake. So it was kind of a deal breaker right there. I don't like stuff like that. If it's not real, I don't think you should wear it. And yeah. So I'm gonna say that I'm still single.
All right.
Ma'am. I bet you that place is hot as fuck. I mean, I have definitely been on dates with women where I can't stand BO. Like I can't. I have a very, very sensitive sense of smell. Sometimes somebody like even my son, he's like, I'll throw it away because I'll be like, I cannot. Like if it's nasty garbage or something. So I get it, but usually what I'll do is like if I meet somebody and they have BO or something, I think about like, okay, well, she's just coming from somewhere and she maybe was hot, If you stink like BO more than like one day, like I meet you again, okay, now we know it's a hygiene problem. It wasn't just like, because I've forgotten deodorant. I guarantee he was putting off them vibes that he didn't want her. And you cannot never mind. I want to be mean. We gotta be better. We're gonna be better. I don't gotta be toxic. It's good. Ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, that is the end of the show. I am Robo. This is Left Face, and today was the first episode of the Fallout Report, which will happen every Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern, we will talk about something. It'll be like a deep dive on something. I think this Monday coming up, we'll talk about Panama and how that whole thing went down and maybe some history about that. And then on every Friday, the Fallout Report will be the fallout of the week, because we got to tell you what, especially after the inauguration, I guarantee you there's going to be something to talk about every single Friday on the Fallout Report. Thank you so much for being here. I am back for 2025, and you guys are here to kick it off with me, and I appreciate that. I really do. Until Monday, take care of the people around you, take care of the people you love, and most importantly, take care of yourself. Adios, and good night.